my finger. Oh shit, what's up? Hey sisters. How's it going? Dropping some biz eats. How are you guys? Just finished watching Mr. Ball's latest video with your girlfriend. Nice, dude. How was it? Tippity top tier as usual, I imagine. Hey y'all, I need an opinion. I'm at war with myself and my partner. My little brother, 20, and his pregnant wife, 19, currently don't have a place to stay. And I want his wife to live with us until the army provides them housing. Okay. I mean, I guess if you have like a timeline on whenever the army is going to do that, you know. It was a hot one today. It was very hot and sticky today. Oh man. How are you guys doing? Remember how my throat was like sore? Well, like that went away, but then like I've just had like weird sinus issues. It's very odd. It's like I'm going through the phases of like sick symptoms, but like not quite, if that makes sense. And this is so important, and this is the worst thing in the world. Have I seen Weapons? I have not. No, I heard it was interesting though. Anyone get hit by the hurricane? Yeah, I heard there was one coming up the East Coast or something. How was my weekend? It was okay. It was an okay weekend. I don't know. I got invited out last night again with some friends and drank alcohol. Which then I woke up today with mad cow disease, yeah. Wart. How's the pump sessions? They're good. Been going like 4 days a week, which has been nice. And I don't know, they're pretty quick too. Just kind of like an hour in and out, just like taking them to whatever muscle groups to failure and just getting in and out. My only issue is just like locking in the diet. Like I really need to just like figure some shit like that out, you know. I did nothing this week and I'm okay with that. Yeah, honestly, sometimes nothing is better than anything at all. Hangovers suck. Yeah, it just sucks because I had to because I mean I didn't plan on getting hungover. It was you go out and there's people you'd not seen before, and then suddenly it's a celebration, and suddenly you're the glizzy globler themselves. I'm fully convinced the stream days are cursed because this is the 4th tornado warning I've been in the past 2 months. During a stream, sirens went off and everything. Damn, maybe they're just warning you about me. Dun, 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 dun. Warning. There's a stream coming on. Not so but so. Yeah, that is scary though. Hopefully it doesn't manifest anything. Keep us posted. Yeah, what is the deal with the hurricane? Hurricane East Coast. Hurricane Aaron, first of Atlantic season, downgraded but could strengthen again. Maps show its path and forecast. You're dealing with a major hurricane. The intensity is fluctuating. It's a dangerous hurricane in any event. Shit. Yeah, I heard it formed off the coast of like Africa or something, which I heard that was kind of like abnormal. Wee, stream time. So it's like a small head cold with sinus issues, starts with a sore throat, small headache, like a light headphone, but highly contagious. Anyways, just want to let you know it might be that. Yeah, probably. It's just weird that the throat thing went away pretty fast, but then I don't know. I normally don't have just like head colds. Like if I get sick, it's like I'm hardcore sick for like 2 weeks and it sucks. You totally checked out the news, watching more stand-up comedy. No, that's good, honestly. I mean, what else is there to do in life besides that? On it, you know, like Did you ever like watch any of the political streamers or anything? They're like the most miserable people ever if they don't have like a sense of humor about it. They just like, I don't know, they just hate themselves. And it's really not worth like putting a bunch of negative energy in yourself. Gobble my glizzy. Gobble me up. It's Thanksgiving, Poppy. Double glizzied up. Sick of politics. Yeah, I'm pretty well checked out of all of it. And by that I mean I still observe it from afar, but I feel like almost next to no emotional connection to it anymore, and I just like couldn't give two fucks what people's thoughts are. It's always just like weird hearing people just like so absolutely certain about reality, just based off of like what was essentially more or less placed in front of them. Like, hey, here's this perspective towards everything that's like algorithmically chosen for you. It's got to be correct, right? Crime Girl, what's up? How's it going? What's for dinner? I had some Thai food. Personally, natural disasters are the only news I pay attention to because it might actually matter in my life. Because yeah, no, that's totally fair. I'm concerned about it too, depending on where it goes. And I got friends down in Florida, you guys might recall, who's been hit by hurricanes like twice, had their house destroyed both times. God damn it, man. I should have brought a towel. I wonder if talking is gonna make me all mucusy. The worst part is the thing that you like use to like rinse through your sinus and stuff. I for some reason I feel like I use that and it just makes shit worse. This is an exclusive bonus content nose blowing stream. My husband's from Florida. He gets mad when we get hurricane warnings up here. Right, he's like, yeah, the neti pot. Well, it's like the neti pot, but like, it's called the Navage. I don't know if you've seen that one. I use that, and it's like, I clean it out pretty well, but for some reason I use it, and it just seems to like, make my sinuses worse sometimes. Not always, but I feel like I have to save it for like a really important, like when it gets real bad. Yo, Brooklyn, thank you for 51 months. Oh my God. You're getting close to the golden butter sock. Hello, hello. Thank you for sticking wit. There's a bunch of schmegma in my nose. Do you have any Vicks Vapor Rub? Oh, that's a great point. That would be so good, yeah. Give myself a little Vicks Vapor Rub Hitler stash to clear everything up. I use the one they squeeze the bottom so I can absolutely assault my sinuses. That's smart, yeah. Because sometimes, I'll be honest with you, I think the liquid actually gets caught up inside of my sinuses. I remember years ago, my dentist told me, he's like, you've got some really big sinuses. I'm like, thanks, dude. There's a whole fairy village living up there. Hey, Joel, please gut me like a fish. Okay. I'm coming for you. It's going to be like, Red Dead 2 when like John Marston like skins a rabbit where they, did you ever see that where they like he literally just like kills a rabbit, picks it up and just like rips all of its skin off in like one go, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude, this is fucking powerful. Hootie, welcome back for 44 months. Bro, my partner and I have been having a similar sickness. Hope you get better. It seems like I guess these things go around pretty fast. Deviated septum. I mean, I definitely probably have some degree of a deviated septum. It's whatever. I don't know if there's any fixing it at this point. Bro, skin me alive while you say felch without stopping. Just one smooth go. What was that one movie with like Triangle Head, Silent Hill? Remember the Silent Hill movie? The one dude got picked up by the back by like Pyramid Head. And then just like had all of his skin just like ripped off in like one go. What's up, Jorge? Deviated septus. Eat some wasabi. I actually did have some last night. Oh, man. Anyways, yeah. Life goes on, right? It never stops. It never stops, never stopping. The vocal rumble is good. Oh, that's right. Yeah, some people seem to really like the sound of people's voices when they're sick. And I guess I do too. Whenever I was younger, I would hear I remember specifically being in first grade, and there was a kid that I didn't like at all. And then he came into school and had a sick voice, and he was so chill and just had the coolest sick voice, and I was actually friends with him for 3 days while he got unsick. And then he came back and was his normal self, and I didn't want to be his friend anymore. I was like, this guy sucks. We gotta go on with the flow like a river that changes currents. Like a snot that flows out of the left nostril instead of the right. Turned 39 yesterday. New video launched Thursday on the Burger Chef Murders. Got 1.4K so far. That's amazing, yeah. Burger Chef Murders, what's that all about? It's your YouTube anniversary. Oh yeah, I guess it was yesterday, the 16th. It was my 11th anniversary on YouTube. I even got a little email from YouTube. There was this dude on Reddit who kept asking me to send voice clips for money because I was sick. He said if I sneezed, he would give me more. I blocked him. But that blew my mind. That's hilarious. It's honestly so funny, how many just fetishist style people exist out there, just blowing up DMs at all times. I mean, whatever, I guess. But at the same time, it's just, you live a normal life, you think most people are normal, and you get on the internet and you're like, oh, never mind. Never mind about all of that. When you work out, your sinuses tend to drain. Oh, that's yeah, I need to do some cardio. Probably make me feel better. Oh man, how many stories are going to be in the new video tomorrow? So we got 5 stories tonight. Should we jump into them? I got really nothing left to say as far as interesting anything. Jeremy, what's up, bro? How goes it? Yeah, so the theme tonight is new house stories. When you move into a new home. Can't believe it's been 11 years. Been watching since the drawing vids. Yeah, it's crazy. I guess that's, yeah, how far, is that 2017 or something era? That's going way, way, way back. Burger Chef Murders, an unsolved crime that happened in 1978. Oh, okay. The Burger Chef. The Chef Boyardee murders. Have to say I love this screen. I could watch this guy ass surfing through the forest all night. Yeah, I wonder if I've ever used it for a video, or if I've ever used it for a bonus content. Just this on repeat with some ambient music would go pretty hard. New home or new to them? I think it's people moving. Oh, new houses, moving to a new house. All right, let's get into it. You broke your wrist. What happened? Were you rip sticking? Were you on that damn skateboardington? You bought a new Sector 9 longboard and you just absolutely bombed it down San Francisco? This is your first Let's Read stream. Welcome, friend. Yeah, anybody who's new, basically, we're going to be recording tomorrow's video, and we'll be chit-chatting, being happy and jolly and merry and making friends. And you get to hear me talk about stuff that makes no sense, and that's A-okay. Feel free to ask any question ever. Breaking news, man addicted to brake fluid. Can he stop anytime? And that's breaking news. A few years ago now, my wife and I welcomed our first child into the world. We were living in a one-bedroom apartment at the time, and while that was certainly okay for a young, childless couple, we knew that we'd need more room to start a family. We started looking online and eventually found a suitable property in a pretty prominent part of our home city, but for reasons of our own personal security, that place will remain nameless for the rest of this story. The homes in this particular bit of the city were built by Celtic migrant workers almost 100 years ago now and are known as being sturdy, reliable, and affordable places to live. As you can imagine, they were incredibly popular with just about every other wannabe renter, so when me and my wife saw one of the houses there was available, we jumped at the chance to book a viewing and put a deposit down. About 6 weeks later, we were moved in, and it felt every bit the milestone that we thought it would. Our neighbors were warm and welcoming, and apart from the occasional busload of tourists, the area itself was actually nice and quiet. But then, the landlords proposed a rent hike. We were still very fresh when we got the news, so at first we had no idea how to really approach it. But then right as we were approaching a full-on panic, holy shit, Roki, thank you for the 10 gifters. Also, please do remind me at the end to match these. I think I've forgotten in the past. Roki, thank you for the 10 gifters to Jorge, Angela, Catbird, Devoured Eagle, Jose Flores, Smeds, Shania H., Dave Vilhauer, Sniper, and Jana Campbell. Thank you, Roki. If you guys get gifted, you now have access to bonus content. Be sure to thank Roki for that. We moved to our house 7 months ago, and apparently we have the ghosts of prostitutes wandering on the hot hills behind us. Oh, nice. Can you see them? And how much do they charge? Just kidding. I had no idea how to approach it, but then as we were approaching the full-on panic. Thank you so much for all your content. My fiance listening every night as we're going to bed and just refreshing some Betty Town stories like you do. Thanks from Ohio. Thank you, yeah. One state over. Pennsylvania here. Thank you. But then, right as we were approaching full-on panic, we got the news that a renters' union was undertaking a little investigation on our behalf, and we had to wait a few weeks to get the news, but when we did, we were over the moon. The landlords were backing down on the rent hike, and we were only going to be looking at a 3% annual raise instead of a whopping 12%. Neither me nor my wife had any inkling of what the renters' union had discovered, and we assumed that some kind of bylaw that... Neither me nor my wife had any inkling of what the renters' union had discovered, and we assumed they'd found some kind of bylaw that prevented the landlords from such a steep hike. But nothing could have prepared us for the truth. Nothing at all. The news about the rent hike was a stressful time for us, so I wasn't surprised when I started having these weird, recurring dreams. I just never expected them to be so vivid. The dreams would always start with me returning home from an errand, such as food shopping or a haircut, and I'd turn onto our street to find our house unlike I remembered it. All the other houses were the same regular red brick with copper brown trim, whereas ours was just jet black all over. The roof, the brick, the doors, even the windows appeared to have been painted the deepest shade of coal dust black I'd ever seen. I'd approach the house with the neighbors watching me when their windows... Wait, what's that? With the neighbors watching me when their windows and... Sharon, thank you for the 2. Do anything fun this weekend? Nah, I mean, not entirely. What was Friday? I don't even remember. I feel like I had to catch up on recording stuff on Friday, and then Saturday I was saying I went to some various fairs and things of that nature, and then went out drinking, and it was not a good idea. Because the people that invited me out last night, they went home quick, so I went over to another friend's bar that he works at. Come to find, he's like a childhood friend of sorts, and come come to find that his brother was in town, and it just kind of went crazy from that point. But Sharon, thank you for the 2. Again, appreciate you. You ever thought about how developers activate 2 XP weekend? Is there just one guy that goes into the code and puts 2 before the... Yeah, probably. I'm sure at this point they have it on like a timer, you know? I don't even know how it all works. If they preemptively set up the code to do that, or if they're like how the UI works for them and all that kind of stuff. Hey, Eugenio, that's a long time no see. How you doing? Nothing wrong with casual drinking, but if you overdo it, then folks get sick. That doesn't seem fun. No, and it's not. You know, it was just one of those things where it's like they were in absolute party mode, so I just kind of get pulled along with it. But then I'm paying for it. Oni Skull, what's up, dude? What's second weekend? I've never heard of it. Is that like an event or something? Oh, 2 XP weekend. Oh, it's like related to experience that you get with like Call of Duty and that kind of stuff. You can like level up twice as much on like certain weekends to like get people to come play or whatever. I don't know. All these games are just like optimized to like drain your wallet of shit, or like to make you frustrated like you're playing a mobile game. And honestly, that's what most of these games have turned into for their paying method, is just mobile bullshit. Fashion School's gotten the best of me. Worth it though, I think. That's cool. That's awesome. I remember you talking about that. It's crazy. Fashion School. You're in Paris, France. I'd approached the house with the neighbors watching me from their windows and open doors, but as soon as I unlocked the front door and walked inside my home, the dream would end and I'd wake up. I told my wife about the dreams and the things that I saw in them, but she agreed it was probably the stress of the move playing on my mind. Now, I tried eating better, getting more exercise, and even stopped drinking alcohol altogether, but the dreams still wouldn't go away. They just visited me less and less. They just visited me less frequently. They weren't exactly a hindrance at all. I could still go about my business as usual, but seeing as I'd never had any kind of reoccurring dreams before, it was definitely something that played on my mind a fair bit and made me wonder if I should just go and see my GP about it. Now, part of the reason that I reckoned that I could carry on as normal was because I work from home. I was head of a customer service department for a major electronics chain over here in the UK, so 90% of my job involved working from my home computer to take calls and resolve tickets. And this suited me down to the ground, as not only could I put in long hours with relative comfort, but it meant that I could look after our baby daughter while my wife was at work as a nurse. And she also worked very long hours, you see, and very hard too, I might add. So it meant that a lot to her that I could stay at home with the daughter and make sure that she was well looked after. Okay. I'm not a drinker myself, but I respect those who do it responsibly. Yeah, I mean, the thing is like I haven't done it in like years, and then just more recently, I'm getting invited out all the time. But I think honestly, I might just do a dry approach at this point. Even just like, well, first off, all alcohol tastes like shit. Even the ones that are like lighter and don't like mess with you as much. And then, I don't know. I don't know. So like you have to drink them. So for me, I was like drinking a lot of like ciders, because I'm like, at least they taste like soda or some shit, you know what I mean? Which is kind of bad, I suppose. But it's not like I'm getting addicted to it. But at the same time, it's those sugary ones like leave you with some of the worst hangovers, I think. Boofman reporting for duty, sir. Welcome, Boofman. At ease, soldier. Envy, party, the lack of sleep takes a toll. Oh yeah, for sure, yeah. That's true. Yeah. And it's dumb too, because like I go out and it's not even like fun. Like I'll go out with some friends who I kind of wanted to reconnect with, and it was a little bit like cool for a tad. But then now I'm just like, all right, do you guys just do this all the fucking time? Like, and it's not like I'm not unsocial, But I'm not some like crazy social butterfly the way some people are. Like some people can just somehow superficially exist in those types of environments and immediately make the connections that benefit them in some way, whatever that might be, and enjoy it. But like me, I don't know, I feel like a lot of times I'm just sitting there with my fucking dick in my hand, just wondering why everybody's afraid of me. She also worked very long hours, you see, and very hard too, I might add. So it meant a lot to her that I could stay home with our daughter and make sure that she was well looked after. And so one day I'm working downstairs in the living room and my daughter is watching cartoons. I made myself a cup of iced coffee and then set it down on the coffee table in the middle of the room. But then the next thing I know, my daughter kicks her legs while bursting out laughing, and she boots one of the table legs and the coffee goes spilling all over the floor. It was a full cup, one of those big plastic coffee shop cups too, so almost a full pint of iced coffee was spilling all over the hardwood floor. I rushed to get some paper towels and the anti-stain spray, not wanting to lose any money by voiding our deposit. But then when I got back, I noticed something strange about the spillage. It was sort of forming a puddle. And the puddle was a rough circle, forming in the center of the floor, and every time I'd take a wipe at it, the liquid would take... Yo, Omar, welcome back for almost 2 years. If I don't use this, I'm gonna lose it. What's up, Joel? What's up, bro? How's it going? Thank you. Thank you. Almost 24 months. Hey, Shell, what's going on? Where you been? We got people coming back left and right. I thought you abandoned me. The puddle was a rough circle, forming in the center of the floor. God damn it. The puddle was a rough circle, forming in the center of the floor, and every time I'd take a wipe at it, the liquid would take the shape of that same rough circle again. I quickly realized there was a very subtle dip in the floorboards, one that must have been hidden with the rug that we'd moved when we decided to redecorate the room a little. And not wanting to end up getting charged for it, we reported the discovery to the landlords immediately. They sent someone over right away, just a general handyman I think it was, and after a quick inspection of the floor, they told us that we need some serious work done to prevent the floor from rotting away completely. Using one of those tiny tube cameras, the kind that you can feed into small places, the inspectors were able to determine that a series of short wooden supports had rotted away under the floor. These had been attached to the home's foundations, but only in one section would it... Just couldn't stay away. It's okay. I would hope that you weren't scared away by these spooky stories. Yeah, so glad I have time to catch these more often. Yeah, good to see everybody. Anything else going on? Anything cool? Exciting? An ex stole some of my stuff. What should I do? What'd she steal? I guess you could call the cops or something. I know that sounds bad. Or like call her parents. What's my favorite Power Ranger? I think growing up I really liked the green one, who I think actually died more recently. He I don't know if he took his own life or what happened, but it was really sad. Low-key embarrassing, but they're expensive. Well, I mean, there's nothing embarrassing if someone steals your shit that you trusted, you know what I mean? Bok, 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 bok. JDF died. Oh, I'm sorry, yeah. That's sad. The Green Gobbler. Yeah, I don't know. The world is weird, man. Sometimes kind of that's honestly one thing I've never really dug into because it's so sad, and not to harp on that if that's bad for anybody, but just the idea of someone taking their own life is just, I don't know, you kind of get spurts of that in your head once in a while, out of nowhere, what if, and you're like, no, but then it's just I don't know, the idea of someone going through it long enough to actually have it happen is just crazy because it must just be like an endless, torturous state of the mind that I just will never be able to comprehend and hopefully never have to, but happens a lot in Korean celebrities. Yeah, it seems like the K-pop, Korea, all that kind of stuff, there's like a undue amount of social pressure on them to be something that they are not. Using one of those tiny tube cameras, the kind that you feed into small places, the inspectors were able to determine that a series of short wooden supports had rotted away underneath the floor. These had been attached to the home's foundations, but only in one section which appeared sunken, kind of like a well. And in short, we could get a hotel around the corner for about a week, and after maybe 3 or 4 days of work and a subsequent inspection, we'd be able to return our baby daughter to a safe, clean, stable home. But unfortunately, that's not quite exactly how things went down. We did as instructed and booked ourselves into a small hotel for a week, a very bare-bones place just a couple of miles away from our new house. Then, about 3 days into our week-long stay, we got a call from one of our neighbors saying the police were outside of our house. Not just any police either. They were in a forensics van wearing those all-white coveralls. I drove over as soon as the wife got home from the gym because obviously I needed to know what was happening in our new house. But when I got there, the police turned me away at the door. They'd take my phone number and they'd be in touch once they knew what the situation was. But for the time being, we were in the dark and I had to stay away. What's up, Billy? You desire my attention? Or you just want to type? But for the time being, we were in the dark. Okay. I was staring at the night sky, listening to a rerun, then I realized I was missing out. Yeah, you don't want to miss this. It's going to be insanely cool. Love the vids, get me through my 18-hour shifts. Thanks, dude. Good to see you. Sorry about the long shifts. That sounds painful. It's like 3 times as long as a normal one. Thanks for getting Joel for Twisted History, Mr. Ballin Live. The dude has 5 minutes slow mode. Okay, yeah. I think he was kind of like doing more of a performance with that live thing, you know, rather than... I mean, I'm sure he did interact with chat at times, but when I kind of looked at the replay of like the 2-hour thing, it seemed like it was, you know, kind of just more for a performative process. But for the time being, we were in the dark and I had to stay away. It took a week before the landlords called us to let us know that the work was completed. When they did, I demanded a personal inspection before we moved back in, and the woman who called agreed to share everything she knew when I met her at the house. When I arrived, a brand new matching floor had been installed and everything looked just as I remembered it. I obviously didn't test the new floor by pouring a drink over it, but I was assured. Mr. Ballin X Let's Read would make my year. Yeah, go check out Twist of History on podcast. That's my... I guess we're not in it together technically, but it is it's a Mr. Ballin umbrella project. Like the Ballin Studios projects. I also love Mr. Ballin. It's cool that you did that. Yeah, he's awesome, man. He's a great guy, I think. I mean, I've never met him, but I assume he's a great guy. He always seems very nice in everything he does. Could never happen, because who's going to play the video games? They need attention too, as I keep telling myself most of my life. Plus, I think that's rather selfish to lose the light. Yeah, no, I feel you, bro. It's a weird concept in general. His narrating dynasty, yeah. Who up shit and they bad. You guys are the 2 most amazing storytellers. Thank you, appreciate that. When things are too much, though, and you just... What's up, Jensen? And you see no end in sight, the next day the worst news, and it's just never ending. You can't catch the break. I'm sure there's some who can understand. Yeah, I guess, yeah, that'd be... Yeah, I guess I'm thankful I just, like, haven't been in that spot of just like, oh, shit. Who up digging in they butt, twin? Mr. Krabs. Just the pant. I obviously didn't test the new floor by pouring a drink over it, but I was assured that the foundations had been renovated and that the issue was now resolved. It was then that I asked what caused the police to come round, because if it was serious enough to involve the law, it was serious enough that we needed to know about it too. And that's when the woman sat me down over a cup of tea and laid it all out for me. First thing, they were offering a rent freeze for 3 years if we promised not to talk about this until after we'd moved out. And since we've been moved out of that house for a number of years now, I'm obviously free to talk about it now. The second thing was that the woman had sworn statements from not one, but 2 council-approved structural engineers, both of whom were happy to attest to our home's safety and security. So if we did choose to move back in, we could sleep soundly knowing that there were no structural issues. Those were all well and good, but what I wanted more than anything to know was to find out what was under our floor. And then after signing my half of a 36-month rental agreement, she spilled the beans quite spectacularly. Almost 100 years ago, when the streets and the houses were still brand new, a family had welcomed a child into the world. But this child was not one they had expected. I can't remember exactly what the poor child's condition was. I'm not even sure the authorities had it entirely sussed out either, but it was clear that whatever it was a debilitating... Oops. Do anything fun today? No, I was just honestly chilling most of the day. I wanted to do fun stuff, but I was hungover. Don't tell anybody. You got a perfect tap dancing floor? Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome. You should do a little dance right now. I wonder what's under my floor, to be honest, because under this wood, it literally sounds like metal. Shit, who knows? Probably some type of dead body, or like a bee's nest. That would be kind of sick if, like, do they ever have that where bees formed a nest around like a skeleton? Am I still sick? No, I'm good. Your situationship uses this app. I think everybody on the planet uses this app. What do you think about the CDC HQ getting attacked? I didn't even hear about that, bro. Weaponize my bees. Let's look it up. CDC HQ attack. Man who fired hundreds of rounds at the CDC HQ is angry at COVID vaccines. Okay. Excuse me. There you go. Wait, we're already at 420 viewers? That's kind of fast. That, like, moved up way faster than, like, the stream normally does. That's interesting. I can't remember exactly what the poor child's condition was. I'm not even sure the authorities had it entirely sussed out either. But it was clear that whatever it was a debilitating... Dude. But it was clear that whatever it was as debilitating as it was severe. She couldn't walk like other children, she couldn't talk like other children, and by every estimation, she didn't act like other children either. Then, as a result, she never made it into double-digit ages. It's also clear... Oops. Jonathan D. Hag, welcome to the Buttersaw Cult. You now have access to bonus content. I sound like corpse, I know. I stole his voice before he left YouTube. It's also clear that whatever happened to the poor girl, her parents couldn't find it in themselves to take her to the local cemetery. Maybe it was just too expensive to hire an undertaker or whatever, and maybe they had a hand in her death. Either way, they evidently decided the best place for their dearly departed daughter was under the house they built with their own hands. Since there was no one left alive to question and no one left alive to charge, the police simply moved the girl's remains someplace that they could properly dispose of her. After that, they closed their investigation and allowed the renovations to recommence. Then a week or so later, there I was, sitting in that exact same space, talking myself back into moving. My professor freaked out last month when I recommended he asked ChatGPT for something. He screamed, "No, Cherry. Don't ask things. You're making it smarter." Oh, I guess that's true. Is us asking all those questions like allowing it to learn? I guess it definitely is. It's creating like a profile. I sound more like Kratos. Boy. No boy. No boy. 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 Come boy. Come boy. Boy. Kratos is pretty badass. I do actually kind of like his change up from the first three to the later ones. Deeper. Boy. Thor. Foghorn Leghorn. Foghorn. AI doesn't know how blankets work. I watched an interesting short of people getting into bed. Interesting. Wonder what that was about. After that, they closed their investigation and allowed the renovations to recommence. Then, after a week or so later, there I was, sitting in that exact same space, talking myself back into moving back in. There was just enough time for us to back out if we really wanted to. My wife still had to sign her part of the form as the second adult occupant, but even once I'd explained the whole situation to her, she thought the same thing I did. It was too late to start the whole process of moving again. Doing it one time had been exhausting, so facing it all over again was just kind of unthinkable. Even if that did mean staying in a house where the 100-year-old corpse is... Oh shit, Astro. With 10 gifted memberships too. Deshay Braun, Mad, Kai McKissick, Anho Baby, Slightly Above Average, Maria O, Sagittarius, Frankie the Chihuahua, The Wind Among the Reeds, and It's Frey. Welcome, friends. You now have access to bonus content. I'm extra funny tonight. I'm laughing like a chicken, man. I went to like some country store where they were selling like chickens, turkeys, guineas, and ducks. And the ducks were so cute, dude. I really, really wanted to get a duck. I don't know. They just seemed like they'd be a great one to have. Cinnamon, what's up, dude? Happy Sunday. Do I make small talk with customer service workers? I mean, if you can even get a person, like another human being online, I feel like even if you do, it's just like somebody from India who like, you know, I guess would laugh at my jokes or something like that, but they're most of the time just going through the motions, saying what they knew to say. Even if you say you're gonna like find where they live, they're just like, "Thank you, sir, for considering me. We will do our best at AT&T." There was an AI reel about people getting into bed, but it was like weird. It was if your bed was made from marshmallows or bubbles or whatever. Seriously weird. It's one of those ASMR videos. Oh, okay, yeah. I guess it would be kind of hard for it to like contemplate the physics of a blanket being lifted up or something and somebody getting in. Excuse me. What's up, Retro? How goes it? Even if that did mean staying in a house where the 100-year-old corpse of a... God damn it. What's up, babes? What's new, dude? Even if that did mean staying in a house where the 100-year-old corpse of a severely disabled girl had been recently found. Once my wife had signed her half of the paperwork, we moved back in the next day, and over the next couple of weeks, I stopped having those weird dreams where I'd find our house had turned that sort of inky shade of black. The scariest part of the reoccurring dream was this. I'm a grounded scientific guy, but I don't have a hard time explaining the dream. Before the renovations, when there was an illegal burial site under our house, who knows what kind of mold or spores or decay could have been drifting up from that sepulcher underneath our feet, affecting my mental state or that of my loved ones. I had dreams, similar dreams, but they were never quite the same. I'd turn on... Dude, that'd be actually insane if, like... I don't know, there was like some sort of biological explanation to like a body being buried underneath a home or somewhere, and like just you being near corpses, like the spores that come off of it would affect your psyche in some weird way. Mork. Oh shit, you got your own PFP, bro. You made it yourself. Mork, with an umlaut. DBZ, the return of Cooler. Fan edit, restoration, fair use. Nice. Warhammer, Pariah Nexus episodes. Oh, that's cool. Thank you, bro. Obama. Mold toxins can cause psychotic symptoms. That's pretty sweet, honestly. Yeah, I guess you see that all... What's that one show? Where, like, all the zombies, The Last of Us, where the zombies are, like, spore creatures, but... I don't know. I mean, have we seen it in any other horror fashion before? Shay, my friend, was telling me this special. They did a study with people snorting mold. Interesting. Like, they crushed it down into, like, powder or something. People who are in proximity to corpses that haven't been discovered for a long time. Oh, okay, so that it does happen. How's my day been going? It's good. Feeling good. Feel so good. Also, what do you guys think is like the safest energy drink to consume? Do you think it's just coffee? Is coffee really just like the way to go? Oh, you meant small talk with Chipotle workers or grocery store cashiers? Oh, sorry. You know, I'm more of a reactionary kind of guy, if that makes sense. Like, I will try to talk to people, but if they don't want to give me any energy in return, I just don't care. You know what I mean? It's just like, well, whatever. You know, because I can't tell you, like, it's kind of like reminds me a lot of like rejection, if that makes sense. You try to like make conversation with people and they're just like not fucking friendly, and so you're just like, well, you just kind of assume everybody's a fucking not happy person, so you just don't even like bother with it. But sometimes I get in like a mood where I'm like, I'll try to say something, and then you just, I don't know, you get looked at it like as a weirdo or something. Matcha tea with almond or oat milk, but with no sweeteners. Obs. It does take confidence to be friendly for sure. Yeah. It does, man. Like it honestly just like knocks the wind out of you, like, because you just assume, I don't know, sometimes things are good, sometimes, and it's just so weird, like going to the bar scene or whatever. it's just such an awkward, weird, superficial existence of sorts where like you always have to yell, right? You always have to like yell to get anyone to hear what you're trying to say. You don't actually have time to learn anything about anybody. The only thing that really generally matters is like how attractive you look, or someone else looks, I guess, you know, in general. Yeah, I don't know. It makes me want to go back to like the old taverns that I just assume exist, like Lord of the Rings. Now, I'm sure that's not always the case, but who knows? Maybe even those, maybe you couldn't even have like a nice conversation with people. You met someone super cool at a bar this weekend, can't lie. Well, that's good. How did that go down? You like socializing, just not small talk. It's a bit pointless. Yeah, I don't know. Some people are so good at like pulling out I'm not 45. Some people are so good at pulling the old small talk out of their ass and just like guiding a conversation, or like, but it's really just, I don't know. It's whenever you just like get a vibe from someone that they're just not a reciprocal individual who's going to give you even an ounce of return, you know, on your energy. It's so fucking hard at this point to maintain a degree of interest in them, you know what I mean? And try to carry the conversation, because you just wonder to yourself, like, what am I even carrying it for? Where were you even going to go with it, you know what I mean? That's when you dip. Yeah, but it's so exhausting when you just like have to dip all the time. It's like 99% of the population just like could not give a fuck about you at all, like even for an instant. It's weird, and that's fine. I mean, they don't have to care about you or care about me, you know. It's just strange. The scariest part of the recurring dream was this. I'm grounded. I'm not even saying. The scariest part of the recurring dream was this. I'm a grounded scientific guy, but I don't have a hard time explaining the dream. Before the renovations, when there was an illegal burial site under our house, who knows what kind of mold or spores or decay could have been drifting up from that sepulcher underneath our feet, affecting my mental state or that of my loved ones. I had dreams, similar dreams, but they were never quite the same. I'd turn onto our street after running whatever errand I'd been on, only to find our house looking the exact same as all the others. No one would be watching from their windows. No one would be watching from their windows. No one would be peeking out from around their doors. I'd just walk inside as per usual and then wake up feeling refreshed and clear-headed. And things carried on like that for years, as if nothing had ever happened. And then one day, me and my wife decided that we wanted a little more room, and we moved into a 3-bedroom house a couple of miles away from the first. My daughter still doesn't know what they found or why we had to move out of that new house for a week, and I'm not sure she remembers any of it to begin with. Maybe I'll tell her one day, or maybe I'll show her the video you end up putting up at... Maybe I'll tell her one day, or maybe I'll show her the video you end up putting this story in if you do end up using this. Hopefully it'll make it an easier thing to handle, but I think the word hopefully is doing a lot of heavy lifting there. Gonna split. Love you to the moon and back. You are my rock. Thanks, Astral. Good to see you. Have a good night. I love your vibe in the same way. If I don't feel the right energy, I don't care. Yeah, it's, you know. And it's strange because, like, there's once again, there's no sort of expectation upon another person to just care about you. But it's weird because it's like when you're out in the bar situation, you try to make conversation. It's almost like borderline, I don't know, it's just like borderline combative with like another person. Like you just, even having a conversation, it's like, unless you play it exactly correctly, you just sometimes just come off or I don't know, you have to speculate on what's going through their head, but the feeling of coming off as a threat to them or something is like the energy that I wonder if I'm like exuding. I always find myself interrupting silence with strangers to compliment their outfit or jewelry or something. I can't help it. Well, that sounds nice. I'd like to talk to a person like that, you know? Be like, thanks. These are my tap dancing shoes. But I start stepping on everybody's feet, just crushing their toes. Theodora Anderson with the 2. Don't forget Babes. Oh, did I miss a donation from Babes? I'm sorry. Or did I not? Or was it something? Did I miss something, Babes? Nice drip, twin. "22-inch biceps." I come behind people and I just put them in a headlock and start flexing until their fucking eyeballs pop out of their head. Yeah, every time you make breakfast in the morning, you break the eggs in your bicep. How many you want? 2, 4? What's up, Alexa? Alright, we are on to story number 2. What'd you guys think about that one? Do you think that's... If you guys hear a story that you feel like should be like the starter to a video, please let me know. I'm not sure how... I'm not... You know, you can tell me exactly what you want, but I'm not exactly sure about that one, even though it is interesting. Please don't stop talking about Gaza. Babies and children are starving. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do, man. I think, like, going up against the whatever... I don't know. It's, like, impossible to stop what... I don't know. You sound less sick, Mr. Joe. Keep up the great work. Yeah, maybe as we're going, I'm decongesting. Can I make my elbows touch? Kind of, like, I guess on, like, the sides a little bit. Kind of. It's hard. Good. On the YouTube anniversary. Have a great one. Listen to stream tomorrow, then edit it tomorrow night. Thanks. Queen, appreciate you. 11 more years. My name's Adam, and I'm from Leeds here in the United Kingdom, and a few years ago, My name's Adam, and I'm from Leeds here in the UK, and a few years ago, myself and my parents and my sister moved into a new house not too far from our old one. It was a semi-detached place in a quiet street with a neat front gardens and old-fashioned street lamps. We had some nice neighbors too. At least on one side anyway, who called over to introduce themselves. Never doubt the impact of your work. People might say, what about Gaza, for example, but don't worry, you give people a place to chill. Yeah, you know, I do care. I mean, like, it's sad. I don't know. It's like, what the fuck's going on? Like, all over the world. It just seems like they use those places essentially as like a testing ground for like weaponry and the whole like Palantir, you know, you're familiar with the Palantir shit, like they're using Gaza and those various places in the Middle East to just like test their autonomous sort of AI-driven target acquisition, like pre-crime bullshit in those areas, and then, you know, eventually bring it to like the Western nations, and it's pretty scary, honestly. But I genuinely don't know what I can say to like stop Peter Thiel or any of those people from taking over the world. They named it after the Tolkien reference, wasn't it? He anti-war. I'm fairly certain he was, and the fact that like, I mean, the whole, I believe Two Towers one, and like the commentary there, just like the industrialization of the war machine. I mean, because I think he was part of World War I, so that's like whenever like war really started to become like this industrialized monster of just like hell. So in many ways, like the idea of like Peter Thiel calling like this this all-seeing AI system that like determines whether or not you're a goodie or a baddie and puts you on like a list, is honestly a spit in the face of like Tolkien himself, which is quite sad. Sometimes it can feel like we aren't doing enough, but the thing is, humanity is evolving and we are actively part of the positive impact. It's just slower than we'd like, but we are making a difference. That's true. Yeah, I mean, if you believe in something, I mean, I definitely wouldn't suggest hurting anybody to accomplish it at all, but it's good to speak. And, you know, no matter how many times people sit there and say that you're wrong for speaking out, or, I don't know, they call you racist for, like, pointing out, like, the atrocities of a foreign nation or your own nation, like, that, none of that even makes any linguistic sense anyways, so just fucking tell the truth if you know the truth, you know? Your brother's got brain cancer. Listen to your voice for the hopes that... Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Hopefully I can get a plan of attack there. I'm sorry. I was just going to say, Joel hit 500 viewers and Justin isn't even here yet. That's crazy. Yeah, we hit that like in an hour, which is like very abnormal. But maybe YouTube's starting to push out streams again or something. I don't even know. Or maybe everyone's bored on a Sunday. We had nice neighbors too, at least on one side anyway, who called over to introduce themselves with some cake and a cup of tea. But those were the neighbors in the houses surrounding us. The ones in the house attached to ours was very, very different. They didn't smile, they didn't wave, and they'd either ignore us if they saw us in the street or stare from their windows if they got the chance, with these very cold, unfriendly stares. Mum said to ignore them. Dad said that some people were just kind of like that, so rather than do anything silly to try and make them like us, we did our best to just ignore it and settle in and not let it bother us. And despite all of that, the first couple of weeks were as normal as... Oops. What's up, Brain? Good to see you. So my friend got a pack of smokes. I get one of it and asked him where the pack was, and he said in his pocket at his girlfriend's house. Like, what? Oh, like he left his pants there or something? That's funny. She's wearing them now. Happy birthday. Oh, it's not... Wait, whose birthday is it? Not mine, right? Oh, Holly's birthday. Happy birthday, Holly. Nice, dude. What do you got planned? What kind of word or genuine smile can change the... Oh, one kind of word or genuine smile can change the person's whole day. It's true. It's genuinely true. Like, if you can just, like, in some weird way give someone else a sense of confidence through letting them know their existence isn't, you know, isn't a burden to the earth, it really does kind of like carry them for a while. But at the same way, like a certain sense of denial of their existence can also completely destroy them, which sucks. Despite all that, the first couple of weeks were as normal as we could expect. I went to the same school, got used to playing football in the new garden, and helped Mum and Dad unpack boxes of garden furniture. Friends and family stopped over to check out the new house, and while they were mostly interested in the new place, they'd sometimes ask about the neighbors and what they were like. Mum used to say that they were quiet. Dad used to say that he'd met nicer people. And my parents never said anything overly bad about them, but people got the message. They weren't the friendliest of neighbors, and that was that. I sometimes used to wonder aloud why they were so unfriendly with us, but I never got an answer. Mum said that we should just leave them alone, and hopefully they just carry on leaving us alone too. But as it turned out, just living next door to them was a liability. One night I was up in my room playing a bit of FIFA when I heard these noises outside. It sounded like car doors slamming, footsteps on the path outside, and low voices. It sounded extremely suspicious, so I got up and peeked out my window to see what was going on. In the driveway of the house next door, I saw shadows moving in the dark. I couldn't see faces, just sort of hooded shapes moving around. And then seconds later, the shapes piled into a car and sped off. I told myself it was nothing, that maybe the neighbors just had some late visitors, And then I went back to playing video games. But not before leaving my window open, something I look back on as a kind of almost... Wait. Oh, there's Justin. What's up, broski? F and Don, Mecca with the 9 months. Sup, family? Hey, Joel. What have I missed? I'm late. Only an hour. It's all good. But you are the 500th viewer, so now you get a prize. A kiss from Pradeep. You love helping random old people. I know, dude. One day you're gonna be old, you know? And it's like... I know there's so many things about old people that... Because what's the old saying? Like, the only reason people stare at you sometimes is because they either want to fuck you or fight you. Which kind of sucks, like, to kind of, like, summarize the entirety of, like, the human population with the yin and yang of, like, basically sexuality and violence in, like, a weird way. You hope it's both, yeah. But it's strange because I feel like nobody, you know, like, in many ways, old people kind of get just sort of cast to the side in that regard. Nobody wants to fuck them, nobody wants to fight them, and most of the time they just kind of get forgotten while they poop their pants in a corner. But I think it's important that you know, try to engage them, because they might have some bullshit they could give you. Maybe their inheritance, or perhaps they have an old monkey's claw they could hand you that has 5 wishes. Old people literally can't help it, and existing is hard for them, so why not make their lives easier for a bit, like putting their shopping cart away or something. Yeah, but Beth, you'd sometimes run the risk of, like, them getting reliant upon you, and then they start showing up outside your door wanting snacks. Just kidding. Alright. But not before leaving my window open. Something I look back on as a kind of, like, fate at this point. I say that because maybe only a minute or two later, I started smelling something burning, and then I heard the shouts outside. I ran to the window and saw flames all over the front door of our attached neighbor. Not just inside either, outside too, with these bright orange and yellow flames making their driveway glow as smoke climbed into the air. I grabbed my phone and called 999. Then, when Dad heard me asking for the fire brigade, he came running to see what was happening. He took one look at the flames and then shouted at us to get out of the house. All of us ran outside right away, grabbing only what was essential before standing on the pavement in our socks or bare feet. It seemed like the whole neighborhood was gathered out there by then, watching from their driveways or the street outside their homes. Apparently, the neighbors that had been targeted weren't home. We knew because their car was gone. But just the thought... I lost myself there. What's up, Strauss? Am I saying that right? Strauss? It's a mistake to ignore old people. They have the one thing that's important. Experience, exactly, yeah. Egg snackly. But usually they can't squat 500 pounds, which is just like such a disappointing thing sometimes. Yeah, I always thought that would be a good, like a good name for a duck. Egg snackly. Detective Egg Snackly here. But it's like a real life duck, just wearing a detective's outfit, and somebody has to do a voiceover for him. All right, Broad, let's see what you got. I look very nice tonight. Thanks, dude. Can see through the window. Retirement age should be at least 55. Let people enjoy their lives after decades of work. Notice how the retirement age matches life expectancy. I know, it sucks, man. Just that concept of just falling off and just how it makes you realize how short life is, I suppose. Because I imagine by the time you get to like 55 to 65, you probably feel like you're finally in like some stride, you know? You're like, I finally got everything figured out, and you need like at least another 55 years left, you know? But you don't get that, usually. Perry the platypus. But just the thought of them being targeted like that was still deeply shocking to us. A few minutes later, the fire engines arrived and men in heavy gear jumped out before hosing down the flames. Everyone cheered when the firemen finally put out the fire, but the neighbor's house was still a mess. The firemen checked our house too, to make sure that there was no danger or risk or anything. They said the fire hadn't spread to our side, but the smell of smoke. Bruh. I gotta sneeze. Maybe I don't. That'd be funny if, like, the way we sneeze. What if the way we farted was the same way we sneezed, where you kind of like, you can't really like control it or release it at any moment the way you can with a fart. You have to just like get it when the opportunity strikes with whatever sort of reflex we have with sneezing. Like, hold on, guys, I gotta fart. I'll be right back. I splurged for my upcoming 35th this Saturday. For these reasons will be delivered tomorrow. Nice, dude. What'd you get? One of your friends died at 35. What happened, if you don't mind me asking? Sorry to dig into that, but I'm just curious. Would it make the same sound? No, but I can imagine it would be even more dangerous, because it would just be like a sudden, just like, you know, just like even more forceful. You can't just do like can't just like spread your cheeks and do a silent but deadly one that just sort of eeps out like a bioweapon. Complications from diabetes. Oh, okay, I'm sorry to hear that. Also, I guess the Demon Hunter, Demon Slayer, you guys know that movie show? They're gonna have, I think, is it playing in theaters at some point or no? Is there a new one coming out? And I guess there was a Dragon Ball Brawly movie as well. I didn't even know that came out. Mike Angel, welcome to the Buttersock Call. You now have access to bonus content. Did you ever slap glue on my face? Dude, I can't even afford glue sticks in this classroom. They said the fire hadn't spread to our side. They said the fire hadn't spread to our side, but the smell of smoke still clung to everything and made it so we couldn't just kind of carry on and try to forget. We went back inside, but I couldn't get to sleep for ages thanks to the adrenaline and that grim burned. We went back inside, but I couldn't get to sleep for ages thanks to... What's up, Keep It Real? How you doing, dude? You gotta watch To Be a Hero X. Okay. I gotta watch everything. I wish I could just watch everything all at one time and just know it. Like Neo from The Matrix. And then all the shows that you guys like, I could just be like, yeah. King Arthur, love you too, bro. Good to see you. We went back inside, but I couldn't get to sleep for ages thanks to the adrenaline and that grim burn smell. The next day, some police stopped by to ask questions and take statements. I don't think they'd even finished before word got around to us. The fire wasn't some accident. It was a deliberate attack, just like we'd suspected. And that was the first time that I heard the word arson, and it wouldn't be the last. The only questions left were things like, who would do something like that and for what reason? And then we heard about the other fire. Just a few nights before ours, a house on the other side of the city had burned in an almost identical arson attack, and it didn't take long before the police started to think that the two fires were somehow connected. Everyone reckoned that it must have been some kind of retaliation, and the fact that the neighbors weren't home at the time made us think that they were probably... Everyone reckoned that it must have been some kind of retaliation, and the fact that neighbors weren't home at the time made us think they probably knew that it was coming, and probably knew who did it too. And it probably explained why they were so standoffish. Oh, that is the word, standoffish. Standoff-fish. I'm kind of a standoff fish. I'm the one that doesn't want to bite on your worm after casting. The newest Demon Slayer Infinity Castle, aka Kimetsu no Yaiba movie, will be open in the US and Canada on September 12th, 2025. Nice. Yeah, that's sick. I love the fact that like animes are in theaters. We need that like all the time, every day. It's probably the only... Honestly, that's probably what would save Hollywood. I'm not even joking. What would save Hollywood right now, if they're smart, would be to start putting like anime movies in fucking theaters. Surprised how many firemen are secretly arsonists who pick that line of work just to be close to the fire. Oh, that is kind of brilliant. They start the fire and then they rush to work and they're like, oh, what happened? I'm sitting outside being drained from local skeeters. Oh no, she's getting skeeted. Howdy y'all, you're in for a fish standoff. I found out they canceled Resident Alien. I hate TV. What's Resident Alien? I don't remember that. They're a bit standoffish today. Bro, I'm not even glazing. These animes have way better plots than Hollywood movies at this point. I mean, it's true. It's like... It's not like... I know some animes are kind of ridiculous sometimes. Like, some of the storyline writing is just a little out there, but a lot of the times they just, like, hit it consistently, whereas, like, a lot of Hollywood just feels, like, derivative and, like, kind of lifeless, and obviously goes through, like, however many layers of producer filters before it ever makes it to your eyes. And at this point they literally just need to like streamline every fucking anime movie directly to theaters and just watch the numbers go up. It probably explained why they were so standoffish. It probably explained why they were so standoffish with us too. If they had those kinds of beefs going with people, it was probably just their default setting to be wary and cautious of strangers. Maybe they knew that we were putting ourselves at... Man. Good evening to you and morning for me. Hello, AD. What's up? Maybe they knew they were putting ourselves at risk just by living next door to them and didn't want to get close because they knew that it'd further put us in harm's way. And the neighborhood was quiet for a while after that. As the one who saw the fire start, I couldn't help but feel jumpy at times. Every noise made me think of footsteps or car doors, and Mom and Dad tried to act normal, but I saw them watching the streets too, especially when the moving truck showed up and started helping the neighbors move out. Dude, I can't like find my rhythm right now. As the one who saw the fire start, I couldn't help but feel jumpy at times. Every noise made me think of footsteps or car doors, and Mom and Dad tried to act normal, but I saw them watching the street too, especially when the moving truck showed... Especially when the movie truck moving... Jesus Christ, my head's still thinking about movies in Hollywood. Mom and Dad tried to act normal, but I saw them watching the street too, especially when the moving truck showed up and started helping the neighbors move out. In the weeks after, nothing else happened. There were no more fires, no more strange noises, and slowly but surely, the neighborhood got back to normal as kids felt safe enough to play out in the streets again. The neighbor's house... God, my brain is just not here. You knew an arsonist? Interesting. Did he get in trouble quite a bit? What's up, Ollie? In the weeks after, nothing else happened. There were no more fires, no more strange noises, and slowly but surely the neighborhood got back to normal as kids felt safe enough to play out in the street again. The neighbor's house stayed empty for a while with a for sale sign out in the front, and it stayed like that for ages as the grass grew tall in their garden. They were gone, but their house was a reminder, a dark, broken thing next to ours that took years before the estate agents found a buyer. I've never forgotten what happened, and how that night could have been much, much different should that fire have spread any quicker. Alright. You know what sucks? I was supposed to go to a concert day right in the street from my house, and I couldn't go. So I'm sitting here in my yard hearing the concert in the wind. Oh, damn. What concert was it? Good morning. The sun is rising. Nice, dude. You feel bad typing and you feel like you're interrupting? No, it's alright. I mean, you're not interrupting because I'll just when I want to look over and read, that's when I'll do it. So it would be on my own accord as well, you know what I mean? You're obsessed with anime. Which one are you obsessed with lately? Kaiju number 8. Kaiju. I should probably hydrate. Obsessed with dirt. Obsessed with sticking my fingers in mud. Watching anime. If some person were to kidnap you and keep you in their basement, but they promised to feed you everything that you wanted and give you all the entertainment that you wanted as far as video games and movies and books, would you be okay being kidnapped? Just curious, asking for a friend. Do I like Frieren? I tried to watch Frieren, I really did, but it was really boring, so I just stopped. What's up, Jesse? Someone's in their basement right now watching anime, eating pizza, and they're like, what? That's what I'm doing at this exact moment. Should do a poll. I guess we haven't done a poll in a while. A pool. We'll take a pool. Would someone kidnap you if they gave you your favorite sex and anime? Yes, no. The poll has begun. Yes, the FBI bank wouldn't be able to find me, and once they count me dead, my college debt will be resolved. Yeah, what happens when you die? Does your debt just go right to the next of kin, or how does that all work? That would suck if, you got roped into, paying somebody else's student debt just because of some weird sort of fine print law. Do we get kidnapper pay, jury duty pay? Well, I mean, you get free rent, I guess. Yeah, you could bring your dogs. Do you get to go home whenever you want? No, you're kidnapped. Come on. You guys act like you've never been kidnapped before. Digging the trailer for Black Phone 2. I feel Freddy Krueger vibes. Oh, I haven't seen it yet. That'll be interesting. No, you don't pay student loans if your spouse passes. Oh, okay, that's good. Really? I feel like you would inherit all their crap. Do you get to talk to family on the phone? No, guys, come on. It's the rules of robots. There's really important protocols. And one of which is that being kidnapped, you can't do anything that could compromise your kidnapping. But think about that. You could occupy your mind for hours at a time with endless entertainment and food. French fries, Wendy's, filet mignon. You can't change your answer. You're already kidnapped. Alright, guys, you're getting no snacks. You're getting no anime. Alright? First time checking in live. So strange to hear you like a normal person. Hi, your voice is a part of my nightly relaxed bed ritual. Nice to hear you chit-chat with friends. Yeah, Lydia, good to see you. Thank you for listening. Appreciate you. That would actually be funny if you were kidnapped and they kidnapper let you use YouTube, and then you were just leaving comments under videos saying hello everyone, I am kidnapped, but then YouTube kept filtering out your comments because you were putting an address or something, or I don't even know, because you might not even know where you're at. You're just in a random place, but you get to watch YouTube underground somewhere. How would you even report, if you had the opportunity to watch YouTube and have an account that you could leave comments, what would be the most effective way to let people know that you're kidnapped? Maybe you could watch a particular uploader every day, and then someone starts to recognize your comments. Binary code. Does the kidnapper wear Axe spray or Old Spice? I feel like it's gotta be Old Spice deodorant or something. I don't even know if anybody even uses Axe body spray anymore. They put as much pungent alcohol as they can on themselves. Does the kidnapper interact with you? I think, yeah, maybe to hose you down or something. Hose the pizza sauce off you. My name is Terry, and this is a story from back when me and my family moved into our first real home together. So back in 1994, my wife and I and our 2 kids moved into a big house down in a quiet Texas town. The house was very old but very beautiful, with huge bay windows and a massive backyard. And the yard was maybe half the size of a football field, and it was filled with thick grass and old trees. But while my wife, Angie, and I told ourselves we'd explore every inch of it before we moved in, we had much more pressing issues at hand. And so the whole thing got put on the back burner until much later on. We loved the open space, and as long as we did the occasional snake check to make sure that there were no rattlers around, the backyard seemed like the perfect place for our 2 kids to play. And that house felt like a fresh start, a place to make memories, and for the first few weeks, nothing could have been better. But then, my 2 kids found something that changed everything for us. Sarah Jane was 10 and Jack was 8, so they were just as excited about that backyard as we were. Once we made sure that there were no unexpected hazards and we'd given most of the lawn a little trim, the kids were free to chase each other around all over the place. But then one afternoon, they came running inside looking very excited. Then, when their mom asked them what was going on, they explained how they thought that they had actually found buried treasure in the backyard. Now I followed them outside, curious and not really worried at all, and they led me to a spot near the back of the yard where we had a Anybody here like the movie Blair Witch, Book of Shadows? Oh, I've never seen... Is that a sequel? It was like I saw the word axe and my brain took me back to being 6th grade and having to sit in class with guys who all shared a bottle of it before school. That's awesome. At least you were familiar with the scent. You don't even have to take a shower. You can just spray that shit on yourself. I followed them outside, curious and not worried at all. They leaned... Oh my god. I followed them outside, curious and not worried at all, and they led me to a spot near the back of the yard where we'd had a gardener trim back the bushes. And there, half buried in the ground, was a heavy metal door. It looked old and rusted at the edges, with a thick lock holding it firmly shut. And I hadn't noticed it before. Angie and I must have missed it, and the landscaper must have thought that we knew about it already. Now the kids begged to open it, but I told them to stay back. Jack said that it was buried treasure, left there by a pirate, and I told him whatever it was probably not any kind of treasure. Pirates keep their treasure in bank accounts these days, not underground in chests. And the door looked heavy, but after clipping off the lock with a pair of bolt cutters, I managed to pull it open, which revealed a dark staircase which led down under the ground. And the air smelled damp, cold, and rotten, no place for any kid to be. And so after making them a promise to not go down without my permission, whoops. Oh wow, it's actually 50-50. What if Joel's a pirate and we're all his treasure because we keep up locked in the basement with his anime and snacks? You guys are my booty. My big booty Latinas. My prized treasures. So, after making them promise not to go down without my permission, I grabbed a flashlight from the house and shone it down into that hole. And the steps were concrete, and while they looked pretty worn, they appeared very sturdy for their age. I told the kids to wait where they were, and I assured them that I'd share anything I'd found and then went down alone. Now just seconds later, my flashlight was lighting up a small room at the bottom. But it wasn't just a room. It looked more like a bunker. It was small, just a single room with concrete walls and a low ceiling. A metal cot sat in one corner with a thin, stained mattress lying on it. And then there was a rusty sink bolted on the wall and a toilet attached to the same wall close by. The fixtures looked very old, just like everything else, but when I walked up to the sink and turned one of the faucet knobs, water came out. Water that was both clear and cold. I figured the place had been abandoned long ago, that maybe it was some Cold War relic that had thankfully never had to serve its purpose. But I was wrong. Someone must have been living down there, and pretty recently too. A single light bulb hung from the ceiling, flickering when I pulled on its chain, and that's when I saw the scratches on the walls. Very deep and uneven. Holy shit, they found where I keep you guys. Don't tell them. Who likes roasted seaweed? I feel like roasted seaweed tastes like salty boogers. I feel like they should make seaweed like even thicker, because I kind of hate the fact that it like breaks apart like cotton candy or some shit. A single light bulb hung from the ceiling, flickering when I pulled its chain, and that's when I saw the scratches on the walls. Deep and uneven, like someone had clawed at them with nothing but their fingernails. Suddenly freaked out by what I'd seen, I climbed back out and closed the door behind me. The kids were waiting, very wide-eyed and excited to hear what I had to say, and so you can imagine their disappointment when I told them that the bunker was entirely off limits. And they tried to argue with me at first, and I had to scare them a little to make sure that they listened by claiming that there might be monsters or even mean wild animals living down there. And that didn't feel great, having to spook my own kids, but as any parent will tell you, you sometimes gotta lay down the law if you want to keep your kids actually safe. And that night, my wife and I talked about what I'd found, and we agreed that not only should we stop the kids from ever seeing what was down in that bunker, but that we better call the cops to let them know what we'd found. The bunker was very unsettling to me. You see, to me, it wasn't just some normal place for storms or maybe even bombs. It might have been built for that, and it might have also served that purpose at one time. But when I saw it, it was almost like a makeshift prison cell. The scratches, the cot, the working plumbing, I felt like they told a story that I didn't want to know. It felt like a secret that we didn't want to be a part of, and we didn't want that secret in our new home. 2 sheriff's deputies stopped by the next day after we called. They followed me to that bunker, and I showed them the metal door in the room below. One of them wrote down some notes while the other asked a bunch of questions, and they checked the sink and the toilet, noting that the water was still working, and agreed that that was probably not a great sign. They also found a small chain bolted to the floor near the cot, something that I hadn't seen during my first visit down there. It looked kind of rusted, but it was still very strong, and my skin wanted to crawl off my bones when I saw that. Stating the obvious, I think I screamed there, whoopsies. Stating the obvious. Stating the obvious, sir! Who wants their name on my cast? Oh, I thought you were going to say who wants to name my cat. I want Joel to sing me happy birthday in Chill's voice. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday forever, Pooh. Stating the obvious, one of the deputies said the bunker was likely used to hold someone, and probably against their will. They didn't say much else, but their faces were obviously very pale as they said this, and they told us that we weren't in any trouble, that we'd done the right thing in reaching out to them. But for the time being, we were to keep that bunker locked. They would investigate and let us know if they did find anything. And that same day, I drove over to the Home Depot in town, bought a brand new padlock, and relocked the door to that bunker. I told our kids obviously to stay away from it. They nodded, but I saw this very deep curiosity in Jack's eyes, like it was another conspiracy to keep him away from the treasure that we'd found down there. And it made me glad that I bought that padlock. It was the only thing stopping him from going down there and seeing all the stuff for himself. And at that age, seeing dark stuff like that can have a terrible effect on a child's mind. The house felt different because the yard didn't feel safe anymore, and I tried to forget it and move on, but every time I was out there in the yard, my mind went to that bunker and all those scratches on the wall. Who had been kept down there? For how long? And most importantly, why? The cops called us back a few days later, but they didn't have the answers we needed. They said they found no records of the bunker anywhere in any files or documents related to the property, and the home's previous owners also claimed no knowledge of it. They were all the way up in Oklahoma and had never visited the property. And then the folks who likely had it built were dead, and there were basically no one to talk to or question that had any solid answers for them. And as a result, the sheriff's department couldn't say who built it or when. And they also found no evidence of a crime, so even if there were folks around to arrest, there was really nothing to charge them with. They told us to keep it locked for safety reasons, and they naturally had the right to Yeah, you're gonna have to share Pradeep's litter box when you're down there. And he is very territorial. Bucket and a mop. With my wop. Eating Sour Pitch Kids while listening. Let's go, dude. Sour Pitch Kids. Dude, I used to eat so many Sour Patch Kids mixed with like Swedish fish in just a big bowl. I'd get like a family pack of both and just mix them together. Slosh them around. Alright, Ike, take care, dude. Good to see you. The sweetiest of the fishiest. They told us to keep it locked for safety reasons and that naturally we had the right to concrete it over if we wanted to, maybe to grow a lawn over it, anything we wanted. And I remember thanking them for the time, but also thinking that it was all just kind of pointless. That bunker stayed sealed, like a very dark secret that we kept buried in our backyard. I checked the padlock every week, making sure that it was staying, and I didn't want anyone or anything getting in there, least of all one of our kids. And years had passed by and the kids started to grow up and the bunker stayed off limits, but I knew that they probably still thought about it, especially our son. Sometimes I saw him kind of glance at the bushes as we... experiences, the bushes as we grew in the back. Oh. What's up, RJ? What's poppin'? What's weekend going on, dude? Guys, what are some things you're thankful for? Did you ever... Oh, wow, dude. We're at 594 people right now. That's kind of insane. That's like actually record numbers. We haven't been able to hit 500 in forever, and now we're at like almost 600. That's kind of crazy. But that being said, what are some things you guys are thankful for lately? Just in general. Hey, there's Katie Flowers. What's up, Katie? Binge nerd clusters. Oh, I haven't had those in forever. They look good, though. Family. Cats. My ability to foresee red flags. That's usually a good one. Sometimes prevention is the true key to happiness. I mean, how many of your friends do you have that, like... I have quite a few friends that have, like, kids with people they didn't want to have kids with, and then even though they say they don't regret having kids at all, they also wish they could kind of go back and do things differently. And it's like, you know, if you can prevent that, that does sound pretty sweet. Thankful for a job that I love, summer, flowers, eyesight. That's always good to be able to see. Thankful for learning from my past and making the next moments better. That's good. Your in-laws, that's nice. Being thankful for them is kind of rare, so that's awesome. Health and family and animals and nature, always nice. Air conditioning. I built cat shelves. Clear night skies. It has been really nice out. Humid air with the nighttime. It was stormy today, and I looked outside and it was just like the way that the sun was kind of coming in from an angle through storm clouds that were clearing out, going through the trees. It was just like really, really beautiful. This guy with the two says, thankful for learning how to love myself. Cool, cat. That's good. I mean, really, it's like, if you can't wake up and face yourself, that's like probably one of the greatest battles to overcome is for a foundation. Nature and pets. Nice. Do you take your pets out into nature? A glance in the back is worth two in the bush. Two in the bush. In the bush. What's up, Mira? Teaching my wife's nephew how to weld. It's so rewarding. Oh, nice, dude. That's awesome. That is a skill that he will take with him everywhere. Born looking like our parents, but we die looking like our choices. Oh, true, true. Modern plumbing. That's true. I had to do some plumbing today. Clear out a clog. Thankful for a loving mom. Joel, what's your favorite childhood memory? Oh, man. Childhood memories. Oh, let's see. Surviving Vietnam. I do have a fondness of the time 9 a.m. I wish I got to see the time 9 a.m. more often, but there was something really pleasant about 9 a.m. It was like 9 a.m. at my aunt's house. I would go to my aunt's house for like babysitting for like periods of time, and it would be 9 a.m. and like you would listen to the morning doves. Am I a morning person? I mean, I am I'm like an anytime person. It's just that like once I get in, like whatever schedule you're in, like, you know, if you go to bed at 4 p.m., you could be waking up at midnight. If you go to bed at midnight, you could be waking up at 8 a.m. It's like, I don't know, people act like they talk about like 5 a.m. I see 5 a.m. and there's no negotiations. I wake up in the morning, there's no negotiations. It's like, you only really have to do that no negotiation part like one time. It's whenever you've only gotten like 4 to 5 hours of sleep and you feel like shit. And you're like, okay, Jocko Willings told me to get up and jerk off right now, so I better do it. But then once you're like tired at 9 p.m. that night, you're probably going to sleep normal. Evan's hypnosis with the two says, it's 9 p.m. where I'm at. Does that count? It does. It's exactly right. You wish I would read dark romance. That seems to be a common request. Honestly, if I ever do start the OnlyFans account, which who knows, maybe I'll start that now. No, I don't know. At some point. But we'll get there. Kai is officially getting a Fortnite skin. Thoughts? Holy shit. That's what I have to say about that. Holy fucking shit. Kai Cenat. Bombaclat. Bombaclat skin. He got a Bombaclat skin in Fortnite. Do you think Dracula plays Fortnite? Blah. I'm got the what's it called? Battle Royale. No. A Royale with cheese. No. What the fuck's it? What do you get when you win? Victory Royale. Blah. I played with Kai Cenat, but I only can play at nighttime. I sleep during the day. You would think, like, for as immortal as vampires were, you'd think they just, like, wouldn't sleep. I wonder how often, like, are there any rules for Dracula where when he sleeps during the day, does he ever, like, lay inside of his coffin at, like, 9 a.m. and just is like, crap, I can't fall asleep. I keep scrolling on my phone. What's up, Nasty Nate? Some more says it's just the sunlight, not the daytime specifically. Oh, okay. He's up all night gooning. I'm going to Victory Royale, your blood. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, I'm Dracula. Blah, blah, blah. Boomaclot. Sometimes I saw him glance at the bushes that we grew in the backyard, right over where the door was hidden. He didn't talk about it often, but it was always there, almost like a black mark that we couldn't ever wash clean. Angie and I tried to make life as normal as possible for Jack and Sarah Jane. We had backyard barbecues, played some football, and succeeded in filling in the house with joy and laughter and some happy memories. But that bunker was always in the back of our minds, and how could it not be when it was just right under our feet? And as the years passed, Sarah Jane and Jack moved out. Sarah Jane went to college, while Jack got a job in another city, and the house felt empty without them. But I was glad that they were finally away from that thing. Angie and I stayed there, but the house felt a bit too big now, and anytime I was out in the backyard, I just avoided that corner where the bushes hid the door. One night, I remember waking up at maybe 1 a.m. to take a bathroom trip and figured I'd first heard... Holy shit, this just keeps going. Could have been like one paragraph, like I found a creepy bunker in my backyard. GG's. What do you think of the Battlefield 6 beta besides the cheaters? It looks like a good game. I mean, everybody seems to really enjoy it, and it looks fun. You know, I don't know. You know, I've been playing Battlefield since Battlefield 2, and then I really got into, like, Battlefield Bad Company 2 for, like, because that was right around the time of Call of Duty 4, and, like, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare was, like, running the show back then, so that whenever Bad Company 2 came out, it was, like, way better, right, than Call of Duty games, as far as destruction and general, like, military tacticalness, I suppose you could say. There was a lot of cool shit, and it was really fun. The leveling system was better. There's so much shit about Bad Company that was great. But to me, you know, once Battlefield 3, it's actually kind of strange. I watched the Battlefield 3 trailer, which was from 14 years ago. Did you know that? That Battlefield 3 came out 14 years ago. And objectively speaking, I feel like the overall graphics have, like, not improved at all. Like, that much, you know what I mean? There's been so many games, and, like, it's just, that have come out on that engine, and it's just, like, not that exciting. What's up, Murph? Bigger question is, why isn't Dracula in Fortnite? That's a great point. Oh my god, yeah, he could turn into a bat as he's, flying down or whatever from, what do they call that? The airplane. Only 23 stopped making me feel old. Well, I guess at that point, how old were you? It's over a decade ago, so you would have been real young when Battlefield 3 came out, but, yeah, I don't know. Nothing's really changed, and it's kind of frustrating. I feel like by the time you get to Battlefield 6, we would have, like, a big jump as far as the engine goes. It just still seems, like, really janky. Like, a lot of the kill animations just feel very janky and weird, and I just don't understand why that is. Like, why do games have, like, shitty kill animations in games and that kind of thing, or, like, physics engines that just seem really just off-putting and strange? You think they would have, like, some major leaps forward, but whatever. You're officially the youngest person. Me? How old are you, Sam? I thought everybody's, like, my age or younger. There's no way. 30 freaking 5, bro. Yeah, in gamer years, that was back when Jesus Christ played games. Justin's the youngest. Everybody's 12 in the chat. Okay, great. Yeah, I do hope GTA 6 is good. I mean, and I do understand that it costs like a ton of money to invest in like a new engine. And now it seems like everything is like moving over to the Unreal 5 engine too, which kind of sucks because that just means that there's not going to be any sort of like motivation or incentive to innovate or try new engines if everybody's like, well, we'll just keep using this fucking one. You guys gonna go on a field trip? Where are you going? I always think it's funny when you ask, like, because I asked my friend's daughter, like, if they had any field trips they were going this year, and she said they're going to like a sewer factory or something. I'm like, what the fuck? Because I remember going to like a sewer factory when I was young as well, like a water treatment type thing. I'm just like, well, who the fuck thought of that? Like, cheap ass, boring ass fucking field trip. Hey guys, here's where all your poop goes, and it's disgusting and it smells, and it's boring as shit, and not even adults want to work there. And for some reason they're just like, we gotta show them this. The kids gotta see this shit. They're gonna love when we add fluoride to everything. That's true, I guess the water cycle, sure. Fuck education, dude. Where's the fun stuff? Dude, I feel like you could get school done in like a day. All the shit you did in school, you could get it all done in the day, and the rest should just be like, everybody exist outside of recess and try not to start a fight. Dairy farm in preschool and got a cow, and my friend almost got pooped on. Vomito poop on. Unreal 5 has worked wonders for those that needed to produce games fast without busting out too much of the bank. That's true too. New kill engine and motion engine for the game called Ill. Dude, Ill, I actually got to talk to the dev from Ill, like, because when he first announced the game, he was pretty friendly to talk to. And I haven't talked to him since because I'm sure he's like blown up or whatever, but that game I cannot wait for. That's actually one game. I'm sure there's other ones, but Ill is definitively one game that I cannot wait to come out. It's gonna be so fucking sick. Something about it just like, it reminds me of some of the dreams that I have, in the same way that like Dying Light, I have a lot of like zombie dreams where I'm being chased and parkour stuff to get away. Ill is one of those dreams where it's just like you had too much McDonald's before you went to bed mixed with like NyQuil, and you're just having like the absolute worst visceral nightmares you can imagine, where like people's faces are getting ripped off from the ground, and it's like hell. It's gonna be freaking awesome. When you were in school, we went to a coal mine, mansion, a haunted prison, all in one field trip. Oh, that's sick. See, that would keep your attention. They go to the poop factory, and they're like, here's where the poop's made, here's where they eat the poop, and here's where the white poop goes. Like with the white dog shit that you see outside that's lost all of its flavor or whatever. I don't know what makes poop brown. It's probably flavoring. Joe's gonna set his ringtone to be body electricity from the old Canadian infomercials. I don't think I've seen that one. I have dreams of tornadoes and trying to get people to safety, but they keep trying to play their basketball game. Can you leave us alone, lady? Why does dog poop turn white? Alright, let's look it up. We gotta get to the bottom of this. These are age-old mysteries that I feel like no one's really faced head on. Why does dog poop turn white? Her favorite field trip was to Hershey Park. Nice, yeah, that's in good old PA. That place is pretty sick. Fresh dog poop is brown because of bile and digested food. If a dog's diet is high in calcium or bone content, like when they eat raw diets, the stool may appear to look lighter. When poop sits outside, the organic matter, moisture, and fats dries out and decomposes. What's left are chalky minerals, residue, which look white. Sunlight and weather speed up its bleaching process. These days, it's seen less often because of most commercial dog foods are more balanced. It was more common when dog ate diets with a lot of bones. Oh, shit. See, we gotta bring bones back to dog food. I think the dogs are pissed about this. Has anyone talked to their dog about it? How much they miss having bones in their food? See? You don't need to go on a field trip. You can learn everything here. In the bunker. What's up, Andrew? Poop, 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 poop. I see you, bro. I'd only notice it after winter and the snow would melt, then it's just crusty clumps. Yeah, I guess that is kind of funny. It's all crusty, because I guess it's all just mineral shit. I wonder if, like, that type of, like, dog shit with, like, mineral bones in it would be, like, ideal for making a hut. You know what I mean? Like, you need to make a hut, so you're using, like, poop and mud. But you want to make a great mixture of like poop and mud, and you're probably going to want some poop that has like some type of foundational elements in there, you know what I'm saying? Just in a hypothetical situation, we end up on an island. One night, I woke up at maybe 1 a.m. to take a bathroom trip, and I figured that I'd first heard it when washing my hands. What the fuck? Oh my god, help. One night, I woke up at maybe 1 a.m. to take a bathroom trip. I figured that I'd heard it when washing my hands, but when I turned off the faucet, I heard it. The slow scraping sound, like metal on stone, and it was coming from the backyard. I quickly made my way downstairs, grabbed my pistol with the flashlight attachment that I had bought. I quickly made my way downstairs, grabbed my pistol with the little flashlight attachment that I had bought specifically for home defense, and then went out in the backyard. It was cold and almost pitch black out there, but after walking across the lawn, I pushed through the bushes near the back and checked the lock on the bunker door. The padlock was still there, but the dirt around the door lock... Whoops. Ghosty with the 5 out of 10 burp. What the hell? That's offensive. Of course, I didn't get to practice. That was an impromptu explosion of gas. Some sort of chemical reaction at the burp factory. The padlock was still there, but the dirt around the door looked disturbed, like someone had been digging. I told myself it was probably just an animal, maybe a raccoon, but I couldn't convince myself, and a part of me thought that maybe it was Jack, but that seemed insane. And another part of me thought that it was whoever had owned that house before, maybe even the person who had been kept down there. I decided that I didn't want to know. And sometimes, though, I can't help but think of the person... Holy fuck, alright, the story's over, bro. I decided I didn't want to know sometimes. I just Person was, I wonder what I'm still out there when it made it in their lives. Jesus fucking Christ, this story's like so padded. Another part of me thought that it was whoever had owned the house before. Maybe even the person who had been kept down there. Should burp in jars and sell them? Yeah, I have hundreds of burp jars here, but I really don't know what to do with them. New cryptid stories. Ah, damn, we gotta get on that, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. Deploying burp. Okay. One burp jar, please. How much would you guys pay for a burp jar? Wonder if that would be more difficult. We would start some debate on Twitter or something about what's harder, collecting a woman's bath water or filling up burp jars. Because honestly, I mean, you have to ask yourself, what are the there's no standards for female bath water. It seems like no standards on how long one would have to submerge themselves or, you know, what we in the business call marinate in said bath. You know what I mean? So it's like, you could imagine, like, what if it starts becoming like a religious thing where all they have to do is just kind of like dip their toes in there and then that's all you get, and then they just collect the bath water? Like, that's not good. That doesn't distribute all the, you know, minerals and vitamins around, or whatever it is people want from that stuff. Yeah, there needs to be a regulatory body, like monitoring the bathwater industry. Because that shit, honestly, right now, that shit is the Wild West. You're in the bath right now? Alright, well, make sure you stay in there for at least 35 minutes. We gotta make sure it's nice and swirled. Creating a proper puree, yeah. Many, many years ago now, when our son was barely out of diapers, me and my kid's mom moved into a real nice duplex out in the suburbs. It was on a quiet street It was on a very quiet street, and the neighbors were friendly, and some even... It was on a quiet street, and the neighbors were quite friendly, and some even actually came over to help us unpack. Now, the guy in the home next door didn't show up, but when we heard that he was some elderly widower who didn't get around so easily anymore, we obviously gave him an instant pass. Now, our son Luke loved the big backyard and pool that we had. We now had. He loved his new bedroom too, but that... God damn it. He loved his new bedroom too, but what he didn't love... What am I doing? Holy shit. Now, our son Luke loved the big backyard and pool that we now had. He loved his new bedroom too, but what he didn't love was the big old closet with its sliding wooden doors. He seemed almost cautious of it right away, but then a few nights after we settled in, Luke started acting very strange about his new closet. At first, he said that he wanted to keep it open, so he could see that there were no monsters in there. But then later, he said that he wanted to sleep with it closed because someone was inside the closet and they would watch him whenever we left him alone. I thought that it was just the new house making him nervous, and that his big old imagination was just getting the better of him. And so that night, to help him feel safe, I started what became a regular bedtime routine. Every night I checked his closet for monsters. I opened the doors, rustled his clothes a little, and showed him how, aside from them, it was completely empty. I'd then shut the closet, tuck him into bed, and then maybe sit in the chair and read him a bedtime story until he fell asleep. It worked for him, and he slept like the dead from then on. But for me, that feeling of unease never entirely went away. There was just something about Luke's fear that really stuck in my mind, how sort of primal and So, girl with all the gifts, people who are infected with spore that makes a zombie like the movie is based on this little girl who is a hybrid of this. Glenn Close is a doctor researching the movie. Oh, okay. Yeah, I wonder what would happen if you took the bathwater and you, carbonated it directly after. We got a lot of options. Also, that the bathwater should just be Dr. Pepper. Something about Luke's fear stuck in my mind, how sort of primal and authentic it actually seemed. His mom said it was probably nothing, just a father worrying about his over-imaginative son, but still I kept checking the closet every night during our little routine, which I increasingly realized wasn't for him. Okay. Wasn't for him. What's up, Dom? What's poppin'? You take your bathwater flat or fizzy? Yeah, there should be little taps next to it as someone's swimming around in it. That'd be hilarious. I could see that at some sort of weird ritzy bar. You have certain beers or something on tap, and you just see someone's just swimming around in there like a model. Now, his mom said it was probably nothing, just a father worrying too much about his over-imaginative son. But still, I kept checking the closet every night during our little routine, which I increasingly realized wasn't for him anymore, it was for me. Now, a little time went by, maybe 2 or 3 months, and I decided to give Luke's room a deep clean. The house was old, the kind of place where dust settled just about everywhere, so I vacuumed the carpet, wiped all the windows down, and cleaned under his bed, too. And then once I was done, I moved to the closet. As I swept the floor, I noticed something against the back wall. It was a little pile of sawdust, maybe an inch or two tall, piled near the back wall. Since I didn't remember seeing sawdust when we moved in, I pushed Luke's clothes aside and looked closer. And then, in that dim light, I saw it, clear as day. A small hole in the wall near the floor, about the size of a coin. There wasn't any light coming through at the time, but it was there all right. I remember my heart rate going into overdrive as these dual feelings of disgust and anger rose up inside me. The hole looked like it went straight through, so I grabbed a flashlight and shined it inside, and that's how I figured out that there was some kind of cover on the other side, something to hide it when it wasn't in use. But I knew someone could see through it if they removed the cover. The wall was shared with the neighbor's house, that elderly widower who lived on the other side of that duplex. I thought about them moving away the paper or card or whatever it was and watching my boy as he slept. And my hands shook as I thought about that. My son hadn't been imagining things. Someone really had been watching him. And so I sat back, staring at that hole. My head was pounding as 1,000 different thoughts raced around in my mind all at once. We never saw that widower much. He was mostly just sort of shadows moving behind curtains, but the thought of him watching my son made me feel sick to my stomach, but not just sick, angry too. I wanted to scream, to run next door and demand answers before taking some well-deserved retribution. But I stopped myself. I knew how it would end. If I confronted him, I wouldn't stay calm and I'd end up in jail for sure. I could feel the anger building, the kind that didn't stop. I'd hurt someone, or worse, for Luke's sake. I couldn't let that happen. I decided that I didn't want that guy to know that I knew, if that made any sense. I wanted to try and actually catch him doing something, maybe on camera, so I had actual evidence of the crime. I went to the garage, found some wood filler and a putty knife, and then worked fast to fill it in and cover it over. I then checked the wall for other holes, and when I didn't find any, I moved Luke's clothes back and swept away the sawdust. The closet looked normal again, but I didn't feel better. I kept thinking about that widower next door. Joel will get your family if you don't stay. Oh, yeah. I'm coming for you. Widowy a widower. He's widowy a widower. The widower next door. He's widowing wood as a widowy next door. The closet looked normal again, but I didn't feel any better. What kind of person drills a hole to watch a child, and how the hell was I going to catch him in the act? My hands clenched and... Fuck. My hands clenched into angry fists every time I thought about it, and I only stopped feeling murderously angry after I spoke to Luke's mom about it. And that night I checked his closet like I always did. My son didn't know about the hole, and there was no way in hell that I was about to tell him on an account of not wanting to scare him. So I tucked him in, turned off the light, and watched him fall asleep as usual. But unlike him, I couldn't relax. Even though the hole was gone, I kept imagining the widower's eyes on the other side of the wall. I imagined him kneeling down and moving away the cover and cursing as he realized someone had gotten wise to his plan. A part of me thought that I'd have him backing off for a while, but I also knew that if he did it once, he was probably going to do it again. I started checking the closet more, during the day too. I'd slid the doors open and stare at the wall, waiting for something to happen or to hear something moving on the other side, but I never saw or heard anything. And the stress of it started to affect my sleep. I started locking the windows and back door every night, and something I never did before. I told myself it was to keep my son safe, but the truth is, I was scared too. Luke's mom felt the same way. She was furious, but she was also... Jacob Taylor, welcome to the Butter Sock Cult. My friend, you now have access to bonus content. Thank you. Luke's mom felt the same way. She was furious, but she also knew that it was better not to escalate, as any sort of confrontation might go very wrong and very fast. If this guy was willing to drill a hole in the wall to spy on our kid, what else was he willing to do? I never felt the same in that house afterwards, and I never felt the same about that supposedly sweet old widower either. I wanted to catch him doing something, anything to prove what I knew. I paid to have some security cameras installed, which were super expensive compared to those Ring doorbells you can buy these days, and I thought that it'd be worth the investment, but the guy next door never did anything on any cameras. His house stayed dark, with his curtains always closed. I thought about calling the police, purely just to warn them that I thought our neighbor was a creep. But not only had I removed what little evidence I had, I also wasn't sure how to phrase things to... But not only had I removed what little evidence I had, I also wasn't sure how to phrase things to avoid sounding like some paranoid a-hole bullying his elderly neighbor. I felt like an idiot, and I still do actually, so I kept quiet. And the nights were higher. Oh my God. Guys in skirts and heels. Guys, don't imagine me in any skirts or heels, please. Don't even think it for a second. I felt like an idiot, and I still do, actually, but I kept quiet. I started sleeping with a baseball bat next to my bed, and I told myself it was just for home defense, but deep down, I knew I was already using it for home. I started sleeping with a baseball bat next to my bed, and I told myself it was just for home defense, but deep down, I knew I was ready to use it for home offense. If I heard someone in Luke's room, if I even so much as heard someone creeping around outside, I wouldn't hesitate. I even got excited about the idea of catching the guy, excited about the idea of smashing his head in, and that scared me almost as much as the hole. And after a couple of minutes went by and still nothing had happened, I started to relax a little. There had been no new holes, no strange noises. Luke hadn't talked about being watched in a while, and the only disturbed sleeps were... There had been no new holes, no strange noises. Luke hadn't talked about being watched in a while, and the only disturbed sleeps we got were when we'd had an unrelated nightmare. The routine definitely helped a lot in that continual process of checking the closet before tucking him in, but I never stopped checking that wall. I'd run my hand over the spot where the hole was, making sure it was still sealed, but it always was. And then one day I saw a truck outside the widower's house. No goodbye, no explanation, and the house stayed empty, and it took a while, but we actually heard that he'd passed away. And as horrible as... And as horrible as it is to say, I actually felt relief. The hole was gone, and so was the sicko who put it there. But the fact that it even happened in the first place, that there's people out there who'd think to do something like that, that's something I'll never be able to come to terms with. I still wonder who was watching my son and why, and I'll... Jesus fuck. Joel's got a new hole. Maybe the kid cut the hole in the wall, who knows? The hole was gone, and so was the sicko who put it in there. But the fact that it even happened in the first place, that there's people out there who'd think to do something like that, that's something I'll never be able to come to terms with. Alright. Y'all hear about the case of the baby that was kidnapped in California a few days ago? I have not, no. Alright, last story, guys. I'm gonna go take some magnesium here. We're kind of burning through this. Definitely way shorter than normal. But I guess sometimes it's good to have a night like that, honestly. I'll be right back. Yeah. What the helly? What the hecky? What the heckin' lecky? I win, you lose. What did you do? What did you do? Spoopy videos. I guess it has been a little while, hasn't it? Yeah, maybe we could do that after this. That would be pretty fun. It's been a little bit. Has a woman ever tried to cut my hair while I was sleeping? Not that I know of. Make a voodoo doll or something? What was your prank gonna be? Tell me. Tell me the fucking prank. What's up, L? You think the Mothman is out there? I think so. Isn't the Mothman supposed to be like interdimensional or something like that? Like he was like an alien or spirit that knew about the future. Hey, Tree Flesh, what's up, dude? I have a scary new house story, but it's more paranormal. Let's hear it. Tell us right now. Yeah, they would just chew my hair off. Gnaw on it. Nice to know my voice is real. Yeah, I am a human. Human after all. Yeah, that would be a good comic book. Mothman and Larva Boy. Dude, something happens every year around August where doors slam and gets scratched and choked in her sleep. Ew, that's scary. Do you think it's the locusts? About 20 years ago now, my wife and I decided that we need more room for our family, so we picked out a house for sale that was within our budget and then went through the process of purchasing it and moving in. Now to us, the house was perfect for ourselves and our two kids, named Lily and Max. They loved their new bedrooms, they loved the backyard and its outdoor pool, and it was this western facing. And it was actually western facing too, so we could sit out there and enjoy the sunset every night. The neighborhood was great, people were friendly that passed by, and everybody was kind of either fuck. And the neighborhood was friendly, and people were great, and they waved or passed. What the fuck am I saying? And the neighborhood was quiet, with friendly people who waved if they... What the fuck is this saying? Waved if they passed while I was... And the neighborhood was quiet, with friendly people who waved if they passed while I was mowing the front lawn. And it felt like our own little slice of paradise, a place where nothing bad could really happen. We were happy, and I thought that we'd found our forever home. Now weeks and weeks went by and everything stayed great. The kids played in the yard while my wife got accustomed. The kids played in the yard while my wife got accustomed to the new kitchen, and I was as happy as all heck with the size of the new garage. We felt very safe, like pretty much nothing could touch us. But one night, everything changed. It was late and the house was dark. The kids were asleep, Emma was in bed reading, and I was about to lock the front doors when I heard a loud noise outside. It was sort of a soft thud, like something heavy hitting the door. I kept on listening for a minute or two, and then when I didn't hear anything else, I told myself it was nothing, maybe just a car's trunk slamming in the distance. I went over to the back of the house to lock the back doors, and that's when I heard the footsteps. They were heavy, and they were only getting louder, but before I could move, the door in front of me crashes open. After being thrown back, I saw the men rush in. They were wearing black with their faces hidden behind masks. They carried flashlights and bags, and one even had some type of blunt object like a crowbar. and my legs felt weak, but I couldn't run. I had to protect my family. And the second they saw me, they rushed forward. There were 4 of them, tall, very well built. He pushed me into the living room as my wife stood at the top of the stairs, looking pale and frightened. Lily and Max woke up and ran to join her, and I wanted to tell them to run, to hide, but my voice couldn't work. It was like a dream. The men ordered my wife and kids downstairs too, and they shoved us onto the couch. They then stood over us with those flashlights that were bright, blinding us, which I guess was kind of part of their plan. Finally, one of them stepped closer. He was the tallest, and his mask was black with holes for his eyes and mouth, and he leaned down, so close that I could smell his stinking breath. He didn't speak, but his eyes were burned into mine. Another man, shorter, with a red mask, started pacing back and forth. He kicked over some lamp and it shattered on the floor. The sound started to make Lily cry and Emma pulled her closer. The tall one grabbed my shirt and pulled me to my feet. His flashlight was shining in my face and I squinted trying to see. The others circled us. They were like wolves circling prey. The men wanted something specific, but I didn't have much, only enough to start our new life. But that didn't seem to deter them. They carried on, searching, tearing through drawers and shelves, throwing books and dishes to the floor. One of them, with a kind of greenish mask, found a picture of us at the beach. He stared at it, and then at me. His head was tilted, like he was confused. The tall one grabbed my arm again, harder this time. He shook me, and I stumbled. Emma screamed, and Max clung to her, his face buried in her side. I wanted to fight, to push them away, but there were too many, and they were too strong. The tall one dragged me to the kitchen. He threw me against the counter, and pain shot through my ribs as I slammed into it. He threw me against the counter, and pain shot through my ribs as I slammed into it. The others brought Emma and the kids. Wait, what is it? The others brought? Oh, okay. What's up, Gray? I feel bad the one night that I have, like, most viewers. I don't know. I can't think of anything to even talk about. Or I guess I'm, been tearing through the stories. What if your soul was stuck in a Roomba? I guess then I would have my true purpose. Hope I've been weighing well, thank you. Would it be Sloppy Joe's dipped in Dr. Pepper? Oh, that does sound pretty good. Tell us about my trauma. I don't think you always have to have trauma. How's the gym going? It's not good. I mean, gym, my own working out is fine, but how's the fam? Fam is good. Everything's perfect. I'll give you something to talk about. One of a kind. Thanks, dude. Do you ever play Warzone? I don't, no. Just not into it. Google Sloppy Joe and not Sloppy Ho and you'll be good. Okay, I'll do my best. Talk about the hurricane hole. Hurricane Joel coming through. Joel's hole. The eye of the cane. I haven't watched 7. Oh, I did watch 7, yeah. It's funny, it's it was good, but it was one of those ones that once you see it, it almost feels derivative, but then you're also thinking well, it came out so long ago that I'm sure a lot of those mystery thrillers probably borrowed a lot of stuff from 7. And I kind of thought the introduction of Kevin Spacey was sort of random. I mean, I guess they needed somebody eventually, but I feel like they should have alluded to him as a character maybe. Well, that might have taken away the mystery, though, if they'd showed him. What's in the box? Yeah, dude, it's funny. I made it through years of what's in the box references on Reddit and all that kind of stuff without actually knowing what that was from, to then see it there or kind of see it coming and knowing that it was going to come. But that was interesting. You'd recommend me AI creepypasta channels. I'm so happy to find your channel. Yeah, I don't know. I really hope YouTube pulls away from the AI channels, doesn't monetize them. Like, come on. I mean, so many of the narrator community has been like working their asses off for like years and years, and they're just like, oh, a computer can replace it. Granted, at the same time, I guess they would probably struggle to differentiate what is or is not AI, especially if they don't like indicate as such. But I hope they don't feel motivated to monetize those channels. Of course, I imagine YouTube can just run ads on any video ever, really, as long as it fits whatever demographic. Can't get rid of your hiccups. I think there was like I think what you do is you take like a deep breath, and then you take another, and then you take another. So it's basically your diaphragm's like really filled up, and you try to hold that for a solid like 20 seconds or something. And like the pressure on your diaphragm is supposed to like calm it down or something. There's also like some techniques where you like bend over and drink water from like the front of the glass, but that one is kind of unreliable. We are allowed to use AI in your class. What kind of AI do you use for your class? What's up, Mr. Jones? He threw me against the counter, and pain shot through my ribs as I slammed into it. The others brought Emma and the kids, forcing them to sit on the floor. Lily was sobbing now, and Max's eyes were huge, like he didn't understand what was happening. I didn't either, but I had to try and stay strong for them, no matter how hard that was. The men started ripping open cabinets, pulling out pots and cans. What's up, Loka? Or is a skill you'd like to master? It would be sweet to like learn some sort of music shit at some point. AI to help write papers and policy briefs. Interesting. It seems... I wonder what, like... I don't know. It seems kind of strange to allow the students to, like, just be allowed to use AI. Maybe they've just given up or something trying to, like, catch it. It's just a tool. I guess so, yeah. But to, like, completely, impart your ideas onto a page... I don't know. I guess maybe if it's like mechanical stuff, sure, but like any sort of creative writing really shouldn't have any usage of AI outside of maybe giving you some ideas or something. Lily was sobbing now, and Max's eyes were huge, like he didn't understand what was happening. I didn't either, but I had to try and stay strong for them, no matter how hard that was. The men started ripping open cabinets, pulling out pots and pans. They weren't looking for food or money. They were looking for something else, something we didn't have, but they seemed damn sure that it was there. I remember how the short one in the greenish mask suddenly stopped and pulled one of our kitchen knives from the block that held it. Emma gasped and I felt sick. The knife was long and sharp, and as he held it close to her face, my hand shook and my legs were feeling like jelly. The tall one grabbed me again, his fingers digging into my arm. He leaned close and his mask was brushing my cheek, and I could hear his breathing, very fast and heavy. They wanted something that was hidden, but they didn't say what, and I didn't know what they meant. We had no gold. We had no gold. I want gold. Am I gonna watch Bizarre Bub? Yeah, maybe we can watch a little Bizarre Bubbington. We had no gold, no jewels, no valuable secrets hidden anywhere. That was a brand new home, our new start. All the money we had in the world was in its foundations, not in the walls or the closets. I tried to think, to remember if we found anything strange in that house, but nothing could come to mind. Just boxes and paint cans and old furniture from the last owners. I told the men that much, but they didn't believe a word of what I'd said. The one with the knife stepped closer to Emma and my world started to go dark. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't let them hurt her or the kids. The man in the green mask stopped again. He was looking at the picture, then at us. He grabbed the tall one's arm and pointed at me. They stepped back, their heads close together. I couldn't hear them, but they were arguing in whispers before one of them suddenly said, "Shut this up! It's not here!" The tall one shook his head, but the green masked man kept pointing. He picked up another picture, one of us moving in, and stared at it. His shoulders were slumped and he dropped the picture. The others froze, watching the guys. Can you make a scary street hood stories? Can look into it. It's kind of tough to get like submissions from the hood. How do robbers sell expensive stuff? I think they go to like a pawn shop or something, where they just buy everything for cheap, like Skyrim. If you do watch Bizarre Bubba, recommend the latest one, V105. It's more interesting than the previous one. Okay, nice. The others froze, watching the two guys argue. Then suddenly they backed away. The tall one let go of me and I felt to my... The tall one let go of me and I fell to my knees. The man with the knife lowered it, stepping back. They looked at each other and then at us, and then without a word, they turned and walked out no faster than they'd come in. The house was silent except for my daughter's sobs. The house was silent except for my daughter's sobs and my heavy breathing. Emma crawled over to me and we held the kids tight. My hands were shaking as I checked them for cuts and bruises, and everyone was okay. We were just terrified. I called the police. They came pretty quickly. Their lights were flashing through the windows as we went out to meet them. They searched the house and the yard and the street outside. They found footprints in the mud, but that was pretty much it. These men were gone. The police asked questions, wrote things down, and promised to look for them. From what I told them, and I agreed with this, they said it was a mistake that the men thought that we were someone. Oh, what's up, Ollie White? Olla White. All of the white. All of the white. Police ask questions with scary brain rot stories. Oh my god. It's kind of weird to think, like, I heard that like brain rot, like sitting there staring at scrolling content all the time, short form content, genuinely does like rot your brain. Is that true? Does it turn your brain to mush? Or is it just like kind of slows down your attention span for a while till you get away from it again? The police asked questions, wrote things down, and promised to look for them. But from what I told them, and I agreed with this, they said it was a mistake, that the men thought we were someone else. Maybe the last owners, maybe someone with some valuables hidden somewhere, but they didn't know who. The police never found the men, no one was arrested, and we fixed the broken lamp and cleaned up the mess. The house didn't feel like paradise anymore. Emma stopped humming all cheerfully in the kitchen, and the kids didn't really want to play outside anymore. We locked the doors, checked the windows, and slept with the lights on, and I started keeping a gun in the bedside drawer just in case. The neighborhood stayed very quiet, and nobody else was hurt, but I really couldn't shake the fear. Watching out the windows and the doors and that dark driveway out front, I wanted to protect my family, to make our home safe again in all the ways I'd failed the first time. But deep down, I knew that it would never feel the same. Paradise was gone, and all we had left were the memories and that endless fear. As a human behaviorist and neuroscience researcher, yes, it damages the gray matter in your brain. What does it specifically do? Like, what does it do? I guess we can look it up. Not in the way most people when they say rot your brain. It can affect your brain works over time. Attention and focus. So-called brain rot content, short-form, low-effort, repetitive videos of endlessly doom-scrolling feed your brain a constant stream of novelty. This hijacks the dopamine reward system, making your brain crave quick hits of stimulation. Over time, this can make it harder to focus on slower, demanding tasks like reading a book or doing deep work. Memory and learning. Because attention is fragmented, information doesn't get processed deeply. That means you're less likely to transfer what you consume into long-term memory. It's not that your memory capacity is shrinking, it's just not being engaged properly. Too much of shallow content can make you feel mentally foggy, overstimulated, or even anxious. For some people, it can contribute to lower mood because of social comparison, constant novelty chasing, or a sense of wasted time. Plasticity works both ways. The good news is your brain is adaptable, just like overconsuming low-effort content can train your brain toward distraction. Deliberately engaging with longer form, more challenging material, books, podcasts, conversation, creative work can rebuild focus and depth. All right, well. What do I think about the aliens heading our way? Someone mentioned that before. I don't know if there's any aliens. Are there aliens heading our way? Newly observed interstellar object, I think we talked about this, Atlas, has sparked widespread speculations. Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb, among others, has proposed that the object's unusual speed, size, trajectory, and maneuver-like behavior could indicate an artificial or extraterrestrial origin, perhaps even a mothership deploying probes rather than a typical comet or asteroid. How the fuck would they know anything about motherships or probes, bro? The object, traveling at approximately 130,000 to 135,000 miles per hour, is expected to pass near Earth, or at least through the inner solar system, between late November and early December, just in time for Christmas. Alien boyfriends, finally. However, it's important to note that the idea remains highly speculative. Most of the astronomical community, including institutions like NASA and ESA, regard 3I Atlas as an interstellar comet with no signs of extraterrestrial craft. Snopes, a reliable fact-checker, debunks sensational claims that scientists most likely confirm an alien ship is headed toward Earth, emphasizing that such conclusions stem from misrepresenting the intentions of one speculative, far-right conspiracy theorist. My typing speed blows your mind. I don't think I'm really typed that fast if you seen it. What's like a fat words per minute type, or what's the average? Some people go nuts. General computer users about 35 to 40 words per minute. Professionals 65 to 75. Fastest typist 90 to 120. World record level over. Oh. Because I played that one game, The Typing of the Dead. That's a pretty fun game on Steam. I don't know. I don't remember mine being like anywhere too crazy. Okay. Should we watch some brain rot? Oh no, we have to read the outro. Is AI going to take over the world? I mean, I guess, yeah, it is, honestly. I'm fake typing. I'm just going... Yeah, I guess AI is going to take over the world because right now they're implementing those things we mentioned earlier about like Palantir and stuff in the United States and throughout the world. And basically it's just going to be like an AI security system that can collate so much information and basically determine, based on parameters set by their overlord tech bros, who is evil and who is not. And I'm sure there's going to be some degree of like pre-crime or preemptive arrests. Who knows? They might even use robots, and then if you fuck with the robots, you go to jail and shit. It's so stupid. I mean, I'm thinking of it in my head, and it's not reality yet, but it seems like we're getting there. All we need is like some degree of like catalyst to completely restructure things so that that shit will be normal. Brandon Dickey. Yeah, basically Minority Report. Welcome, Brandon, to the Buttersock Cult you now have access to bonus content. Alright guys, think of something cool to say on the outro and then we'll go watch some Bizarre Bubbington. Hey friends, thanks for listening. Click that notification bell to be alerted of all future narrations. I release new videos every Monday and Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and there are super fun live streams every Sunday and Wednesday night. If you got a story, be sure to submit them over at my email, letsreadsubmissions@gmail.com, and you might even hear your story featured on the next video. And if you want to support me even more, grab early access to all future narrations and bonus content over on Patreon, or click that big join button to hear about the extra perks for members of the channel. And check out the Let's Read podcast, where you can hear all of these stories in big compilations located anywhere you listen to podcasts. I also have a true crime channel called Saturn Soul. All links in the description below. Thanks so much, friends. And remember, your gray matter is turning blue. I am Steve. I've been absolute Joel. The lobster is artificial today. A blue lobster. Oh wait, Boof, don't go anywhere. We're gonna watch scary videos. Unless you don't want to, it's all good. Beware of Joel's holes. Joel's holes. Bizarre Bubs. Bizarre Bub Scary. There was one uploaded 8 hours ago. Is that the one? Oh, that's Sir Spooks. Wow, 1 month ago. Okay. This one's about 25 minutes long. Yo. Let's see.
Daughter, hurry over.
Let's see. I haven't done this in a while. Do you ever walk around with the full fish stuck in between your teeth? Oh yeah. You ever have to pay the troll's toll to get in Joel's home? Oh, every day. Okay.
Mischievous dog.
Christine B, welcome back for 9 months. Any other clippies in the house? Clippies. Oh, yeah. What was the clippy thing? Was that on Twitter or something?
Hurry over to their apartment as quickly as possible after encountering someone strange. They record the stranger on camera, but according to the mother, this wasn't the only strange thing recorded.
1 second, guys. I gotta move my microphone. It might make a noise. Oh, God. Hopefully that wasn't loud. Alright, now I'm free.
So I'm sitting here looking at this ring camera footage, and I don't understand how I didn't see this, because this is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
At the same time of this incident, this was captured.
Wait, so was he a ghost or
closely.
just a scary guy? Oh, shit.
I just called the police. Get out front of my door.
Oh, Jesus. What's wrong with this guy? He's losing his shit. I mean, I actually like the idea of, like, changing it up. Oh, fuck. The crackhead saw a ghost. The ghost.
This is the last time I'm gonna tell you. Get out front of my door right now. The police on the way.
Bro, this is next level freaky.
Go.
Bro, what the fuck? You think this is the wrong one?
Now, during this recording, Mom had no idea that this happened.
Dude,
the
imagine
door to
this.
Apartment 23 had swung open
Bizarre
on its
Bub's
own
probably
and
jizzing
stayed
his
open
pants
for
because
more
he's
than a few
like,
seconds before
we get a
closing.
crackhead and we get a
However,
ghost in one
this
video.
isn't the
That's
reason
insane.
Why Jasmine, the mother, is freaked out by this. Just days after this happened,
Definitely
Jasmine
afraid of
records a
being
video
sucked into a
and
vacuum
points
cleaner
out
as a kid if
something
you
that
step
makes
close
this
to
whole
it.
encounter even
Oh, that would happen,
In the 3
honestly.
years
It's
that I've
happened to a
lived
lot of
here,
little kids.
I have never seen this video ever.
It was a neighbor like, who the fuck yelling? Hey, please don't break into my
Video,
apartment.
You saw the door just
Hey,
came
see you,
open.
Nate. Take care.
Who opened the door?
The spirit of
Like-
the crackhead.
Look at it. Like pitch black. Like make it make sense. Like how? How?
I don't know. That don't make sense.
If the door has remained locked for years,
Oh, shit,
then just how
Brandon, thank you for
exactly
the
did
10.
it come open?
Wife
She
and I
has
have been
no
listening to your
idea, but the
content for
further
about
she
5
looks
years.
into
Love going to
this, the
sleep,
more
listening to
creeped out she
podcasts. First
becomes.
donation through. Happy to give it. Thanks,
Just
bro.
watch this.
Appreciate
The
you.
door comes open.
Oh my god, look at
There's
this guy. He's
nobody there.
freaking losing his shit,
Now,
bro.
with all this whole occurrence is
He's
pretty
possessed
strange.
by the ghost
it's
next
what
door.
happens next that's by far the most unsettling.
Sometimes mentally
This
ill
is where
folks
things start to get pretty
detect
weird.
ghosts better
because
than
after
the rest of
reaching
us.
out to property
Maybe,
management
'cause they
and
won't
getting
get
someone
taken
to open up this
seriously.
door, this
Oh,
happens.
dude, the number 23, too.
Okay, yeah, so property management.
That's
sent
an
somebody
evil
up to come
number.
Take a look, so I'm
Remember
gonna
that
do
movie
what
with,
you do. I'm gonna stay back here.
Jim Carrey. The hell is a car inside?
You say the light works? Y'all, he said the light works.
There better be no jump scares.
Lord.
What are you guys doing in my house? Oh, they had a hot tub? What the fuck? What the fuck? A bunch of little kid shoes. Oh, she was worried about the snake? She saw a snake.
Y'all.
Bunch of little kid shoes. Individual kid shoes. Bro.
Y'all see all these
Individual kid shoes. Not even like pairs, bro.
up in there.
What the fuck? Maybe they are pairs. Still.
So hold on, because no, this other day the door came open when I was in here.
Bro.
So if the door came open, like,
Dude, if she-
Nah, I'm sorry, I'm not. Okay, y'all.
That would be too. And there's snake skin.
I really thought it was.
There's
plastic,
snake
but
skin in the corner. Unless it's
I'm not
foreskin.
gonna get close to this. This is real.
That, what kind of snake is that, bro? What the fuck? That looks like rattler snake.
You can see like, ooh,
That looks like a rattler.
oh my god. Look at that.
Eerily, a large pile
Eerily.
of children's shoes is found inside. And
Smearily.
it's the fact that there are so many of them
Oh my
that freaks
God.
out Jasmine.
Dude, I feel like
According
there's
to her,
actually no
this
way
may
this
suggest something
video
much
could be
more
fake.
frightening and serious than a paranormal occurrence.
What?
However, before calling
Someone
the
went
police,
missing?
she notices something in her video that tells her
Harry
this isn't
Potter
what she
in the
thinks it
crackhead's
is.
apartment.
But what she notices doesn't make this any less creepy. In fact,
It is
makes
scary
much
though.
more
Like, what is
concerning.
going on?
So I'm looking back at this video that I took with the property manager guy, right?
The property manager guy had a boner the whole time.
In a pile of shoes. Those frozen Elsa boots, whatever you want to call it. Those boots
With the finger.
are my daughter's.
What?
Like, I'm gonna show y'all a picture that me and my daughter.
Wait,
took,
did her
like,
her
what,
daughter went
2
missing?
months ago?
No. Wait, did it say her daughter went missing?
Yo, this is crazy because I really thought she just lost them at school.
Oh, so she's not missing.
Those shoes belong to my daughter.
Watching this
What?
clip,
So
the
these-
question is begged.
all
Just
these
how
shoes got,
exactly
like,
did her daughter's shoes end up in this pile?
Teleported into this
Although
pile?
Jasmine has no idea. She has a hunch as to what this could all mean. After showing property
What the
management the
fuck?
video and learning that no one has occupied the room in years, Jasmine makes a shocking conclusion.
Maybe that homeless guy takes him in there
Somebody in
for
this
the
building
ghost.
Must be going around here just collecting shoes. Just, and I'm not gonna say collecting, stealing little kids' shoes.
He's
around
just-
here.
he's
I
just
talked to at least 2 or 3 different
collecting
people
like Pokemon
in this
cards,
building
all.
who have said that their children been missing shoes.
What the
So I'm thinking that somebody has access to that room and they're going around stealing shoes and then taking them and putting them in there.
And sniffing them.
They're just putting shoes in the room like it just none of this.
How did they get into the room though if it's always locked like that? It was
As
open
Jasmine
by
states,
itself.
someone in this building has
Dude, that
access
guy's
to
pissed.
this
He's like,
room
I'm
and
supposed
is
to
placing
get
the
another
shoes
pair
they
of
steal
shoes or
inside.
another kid will
Now, even though
die.
Property management has
No
removed
one
all
will
the
listen
shoes
to
and
me.
plans to change the door lock. They told Jasmine to be on the lookout, so she sets up a trap.
Okay, y'all, I'm finna get to the bottom of this.
Setting up a ghost trap.
See these little shoes right here?
They can't resist
Here's
those.
bait, right? On some real cheap shoes, just
She might be the
little kid
mastermind
shoes,
behind
whatever.
this.
But what I did
Who
was,
knows, dude?
I got
Maybe
me
she
a
went.
plant, right? Little cheap plant too. But look what's inside the plant.
Oh fuck!
Hopefully y'all can see it.
A grenade.
Hopefully nobody else see it, but
According to Jasmine, whoever takes these kids' boots and enters the room must be the culprit, and probably the same person who stole her Ring camera. But after 2 nights of recording this hallway,
How many of these
nothing
fuckers come
happens.
flying out of the wall?
That is, until the 3rd night when
Wait,
this
she
is
gets
captured.
somebody?
Take a look.
Oh fuck! If it's the homeless. Wait, what? first I thought the door opened by itself, but look. In fact, it was a little elf man. What the hell? Ew! Who is this new character introduced? That person looks creepy as shit, bro. The shoeless fairy. Actual plot twist. Got the COVID mask on and everything. I'm gonna just take a look around. I don't see nobody. That's what, look, he's wearing flip-flops. You would never suspect the guy in flip-flops of doing anything creepy. Is that your friend's boyfriend? I think it is, dude. Wait. What was she doing? Investigating that door? Was it the ghost? I need another pair. What? Oh my gosh, she was communing with the ghost. Look at this shit. Oh, sorry. I first thought the door opened by itself, but look. It's a little Keebler elf. Wait, look at the shoe. Look at the shoe. This one. Bring me this one, my minion. Bring me this shoe. Holy shit. She knows what to do. That's her command. Nope, she's like, it's too much for me. It's too much for me.
Somehow, one of the boots moves on its own.
Why did she even come out to
appears
look?
Bounce off the
Did she
ground
hear
before
something?
landing perpendicular to the other boot. Even
Dude,
Jasmine's next
if
door
this
neighbor
is-
was
if this
freaked
is
out by
fake-
this, but it's what her
if
neighbor
this is fake, this
recounts that
is
makes
so
this whole
elaborate.
encounter even more terrifying. Apparently, she had come out of her apartment after hearing
Everybody
what
hold
sounded
hands.
like a baby crying outside her door.
Oh, that's why she came out.
However, she realized that the cries were coming from inside the room where the
It
shoes
did
were
seem
found.
like it was on a string.
Realizing this,
That'd be so
she
funny
walks
if that
back
lady in
absolute
31 set up
fear
like
when suddenly
a
this
series of
happens.
pull strings.
Now, whether or not she actually heard a baby crying is hard to tell.
Okay, now
There
I need
isn't
to
any
get the-
audio
the
of a
baby
wailing baby
noise
in this
going.
footage, but even if she actually heard something, it wouldn't explain how the boot moved on its own. This is what spooks Jasmine the most, which is why she's thrown them away since then.
Me as a boot.
Now, to
like,
this
I'm
day,
out of here.
not much else is known about this story, and it doesn't help that no further clips have been posted
Dude, what's
since
up with that
these.
snake skin?
But
That
as
shit's
always,
weird.
Until further info becomes
Like,
available.
look how many
this
characters are in
incident
this.
will
This is
continue
like got
to
a whole
remain a mystery.
storyline to it, bro. A room full of shoes, a ghost, a crackhead, and a person that wears a mask inside their home.
At around
Probably
10
the
p.m.,
scariest part.
Two sisters return home to pick up something that one of them needs.
Hurry up.
According to Pink Nemesis, who sent me
gonna
this
be
video,
late.
her little sister needed
gonna
to
be late
pack
for
some
Demon
clothes for a
Slayer.
sleepover that she was running late to.
Oh.
But just moments before coming inside, they noticed something rather unusual on the sidewalk across from their
What the
house.
fuck is that, little man?
Apparently, they had found a shopping cart
A little
filled with
pimp?
creepy-looking dolls. Curious, they check out the cart for a quick minute before immediately rushing to the house to get what they came for. But during this footage, which was caught on their doorbell camera, they record something completely unexpected. This is what they caught.
Wait, so is this them? Oh, that is them. Okay. I thought it was like a little tiny person.
We just need to go in there.
Like a little elf. What the fuck was that? Is it an earthquake? Oh, that's why they rushed in. I was like, man, they were in a hurry to get to a sleepover. I always kind of like these mirrors, but I also don't. What the fuck? What the fuck? Who the fuck? What has he got?
I don't go to your house and mess with your
What
so
the?
don't mess with mine.
Dude, what the fuck is going on? I seen that person on TikTok, bro. The one that says like, I love Taco Bell and sunsets. Okay, what the, was he scaring, was he holding like a dead rat or dead rabbit? It looked like a child mannequin of sorts. Dude, how many drug addicts are out there? Scarier than the fucking ghost, bro.
As it seems, the shopping cart they were checking out earlier belonged to this lady.
Oh.
For this reason, she walks in and yells at them for touching her stuff.
Did you
some of
touch
which are
my-
pretty creepy.
my dead
But there's
body on a
something else in
stick?
this footage that's just as unsettling, and it happens during the time she's inside. On the hallway floor,
Would you guys like a
black
little
shadowy
child?
figure darts across.
Jesus Christ.
It's hard to make out what this
Oh
is
my
since
God.
it moves quickly, but whatever it might have been, it seems to have no distinct outline.
That's so
It just
creepy.
seems to be a black mass of
Can you
something.
imagine like every mentally ill
However,
homeless
it
person is
appears
just
not
like
once,
possessed
but
by like
twice on this
many
property.
devils?
On the second time it appears, it's
I know
seen
they left
running
that
across
door
the front
wide
yard.
the fuck open.
Now Pink says that she has seen this figure before outside her home on multiple occasions at night.
Oh my
She
God.
initially thought it was just a black cat scurrying away, given that she often leaves out
The
food
human?
for stray cats.
Oh, that
She was
figure.
thinking
I thought
this
they
was
meant
just
the
one of
homeless
them.
person. What the?
But seeing this footage, perhaps something
Maybe
else
it got
was
in. That's
captured.
freaking pretty deep.
Now she has yet to share this footage elsewhere, but until then, she has no explanation for what was caught. As with all videos, I'll let you come up with your own conclusions.
What about the homeless
Just
lady?
what exactly was caught on camera?
They were living in the grocery cart? Dude, how would I
On May
do that?
17th of
Oh my
2025,
God.
a couple from California was on their way to a concert at a Santa Cruz
California,
bar
man.
known as the Blue Lagoon. They had gone there late at night to see their favorite band perform. It was a fun, crazy night, according to Savvy Cat,
was a
who
fun
took
and
this
crazy
photo
night.
and posted it on her Instagram page.
Hell yeah.
However,
These
only
are
3
Let's
days
Read
later
subscribers.
after posting this, Savvy clarifies that the concert wasn't the only highlight of that night. As she mentions, something rather unsettling had occurred while driving back home from the concert.
What was
the
that?
footage was
Oh.
recorded on her dash cam.
I thought it was like a full-on asteroid falling out of the sky. It is! There it
Now,
is!
Savvy writes, my boyfriend and I were heading home from a concert in Santa Cruz on a very dark, curvy downhill drive. The
Curvy.
drive in question that she's referring to is known as Highway 17, which is commonly known as Killer 17. This is a route in California where many accidents have occurred.
Guy at
but
a music
unlike most
festival?
incidents, this one doesn't involve an
Maybe.
accident, but rather something else. The following is their footage. Watch.
Watch. At first I thought that was just like a glare on the screen. On like the windshield. Ooh, shit, that was I thought that was a meteor, but it was a whole ass person in the road, bro. Dude, dude, that's happened to me before. And that shit comes out of nowhere. Okay. Wait, oh my God, bro.
Savvy and her boyfriend were shaken up by the sudden appearance of this figure.
That was out of
Even at a
nowhere.
distance, before
That was out of
passing
nowhere.
it,
You
they
cannot
couldn't make
see
out
that
anything
shit at
noticeable.
all.
Nothing was seen from afar, yet somehow, someone or something appears just
Oh
inches away
my
from the
God.
passenger side.
That's some
Now,
Big
considering
Bertha
what
shit.
was captured, one would think that the person or thing they had nearly hit would still be alive and completely unharmed.
It's always homeless people.
However, when looking at the footage recorded from the rear dash cam,
They're just
that
haunted,
doesn't
bro.
appear to be the case.
Yeah, after they scream, it's just not behind them. No way, it's not captured there, just in the front. Dude, that's crazy. Dude, what's going on with ghosts? They're getting
Eerily,
wild
nothing
lately.
is seen. Thinking that the figure would still be there,
It's a bad spawn
Savvy and her
point.
boyfriend were shocked to see that nothing was seen.
Literally
Clearly,
spawn
the front
camping them
dash
with
cam
a
recorded something
vehicle
standing
kill.
in the road, but when looking at the rear dash cam,
What's up,
the
Alyssa?
silhouette isn't there. Now it's worth noting that the couple did see what they thought was a person standing on the road, but after looking at this footage, they're not so sure now as to what they'd seen. Considering that others who've driven here had had similar experiences on this road, Savvy can't help but think that a ghost was caught on camera. After all, this route has seen many accidents here, which has led many to believe that this mysterious figure is just one of many spirits who've passed away on this highway. But even more unsettling is the thought that
Dude,
another
car
life
crashes
could have
are
been
like my
taken had Savvy swerved
biggest
and crashed the
fear,
vehicle
honestly.
from being jump scared by the figure.
Because you just never know when someone's gonna do some stupid shit. Alright, relax, lady.
This incident continues to baffle Savvy and her boyfriend. To this day, there has yet to be an explanation for what was caught on camera.
I hate traffic so much you cause accidents. Just playing Frogger IRL.
On June 13 of 2025, a woman named Meg finally uploads a video that
Meg.
she's kept private for 6 years. She's been holding off on showing this footage to others for good reason.
You would haunt the 1%.
Something about it
Cinnamon, you
disturbs
are
her.
the 1%.
Now at first glance,
the
the
world.
video itself doesn't appear to have anything unusual. It's a very short clip that Meg took of her brother, who was passed out on the couch on the night before his wedding. Seeing him like this, she immediately takes out her phone to
The
record
night before
him.
his wedding.
After all, she's just capturing memories before the day of his big wedding. But unbeknownst
He's
to
ready.
her,
He's locked
this
in.
memory would turn into something truly unforgettable for the wrong reason. After looking closely at her video,
Oh,
she
the
saw
cement
this.
divider. Yeah, those. I always feel cramped by those, but at the same time, I mean, they obviously do make a difference. Just kind of ghost camera in my brother's haunted apartment. Wait, what was that? Did we see it? I didn't see it. It was a little freaking elf man. There it was. Hello. Oh my god. Ew. Ew, dude, what's it doing? It's like facing away, jorking its shit.
Now, what makes this pretty creepy
back as a
is the
ghost and
fact
pull
that
all
no
your
one else
toes
was
when you
home
sleep,
except
dude.
for
Don't
Meg's
touch my
sister-in-law
toes,
and her
please.
cousin. But they both have stated that this wasn't them. They were passed out just like Meg's brother from
It
all
does
the
look like a
dreams.
monk.
Now, surely Meg
Or like,
would have
once
had her
again, what, like a
suspicions if it
homeless
wasn't
person
for
would
the
wear.
close-up image of this figure. Nothing about it says
Like
it
a
was
little
one
old
of them,
Ew.
but something about it
It like kind of
indicates
looks like
it was
it has a
anything
hood
but
on, but it also
person.
looks like that's
A
its
head
head.
and a torso can be made out, but
Just
no
like kind of
legs
like
can be
facing
seen.
away.
It just seemingly floats above ground,
Or like a
before
jacket on
somehow
like a hanger.
disappearing quickly. But as if that wasn't creepy enough, someone
An
who saw
upright
this video
anteater.
posted a pic of what this figure might have looked like. This rendition is definitely the stuff of nightmares. But further adding to the creepiness of this
Wait,
clip
what? Did
is
they
the
just
fact
change
that
the-
figure seems to be doing something with its arms.
Wait, did you see that? They
It's the way
changed
that
the.
it moves that
You could
makes
kind of
this
see a
pretty
face with the
unnerving.
one.
Whether ghost or
Right there.
intruder, Meg can't help.
Yeah. Ew, dude, look at its face. It's so beautiful. Wait, when did it take on this form here? You can kind of like see this like weird hair. Ugh, I don't want to look at it
but
too
feel
long.
that this was something paranormal. But
It
what
looks
do you
like a
think?
cartoon.
Was a ghost caught on camera, or
the
had
girl from
something
that
else
movie.
been captured? Let me know
Sydney,
your thoughts on
Sydney
this one.
Sweeney. Everybody films on a potato, yeah. Number 2.
Now the following video comes from a mother who recorded a video of her daughter
Hey, I'm
when
seeing
something
some
quite
creepy ass
concerning
shit,
was
bro.
captured. According to Mom, this wouldn't be so creepy if it wasn't for the fact that this has happened more than once. Her daughter, who's
Dude,
known as
honestly,
Mabel,
after we watch
tells
these,
her
like,
that
I
her
don't
dad
have a
is
great
hiding in her
night either, I'll be
bedroom.
honest with you.
But this doesn't make any sense.
It's a little bit of a
because
detriment to
according
my mental
Mom,
health to
her
do
dad
these, so.
had passed away in 2002.
You guys should be thankful.
Okay,
Oh,
who is it?
no.
Daddy.
Oh, God.
Daddy's right there.
Is it your daddy?
No, it's your daddy.
What the fuck? How did she know
Is
that?
where?
Is wire.
Right there.
Ew.
Okay. Okay, show
Come
me.
on.
See?
She got a thermometer. Oh.
Daddy's missing you.
My daddy's missing me.
That's
Ew, is it like in the
Let's
ground?
go get him. Where'd he go?
in you.
Okay, show me.
Dude, something's gonna move. Something's gotta move in here, right? Oh, wait.
In your closet?
What the frick? Is he like going through the walls and shit?
Now, as previously mentioned, this isn't the first time this has happened. Just a few weeks before, Mabel tells her mom that she sees a ghost in her closet. But in this instance, she doesn't specify that it's anyone in particular.
Yeah,
she
I've seen
just
a
says
ghost.
that it's a ghost.
She's seen the leprechaun.
See me.
Oh, God.
The ghost?
Dude, how does this
What are you
kid know
talking
all
about?
these words, bro?
Come on.
Come on, I'm gonna show you the ghosts and all the creepy shit in town. Over here, you got Mr. Boogaloo. He's got a face that melts right off. Oh, she got.
Gosh, scared me when you were-
Look, baby's like, come on, would you chill?
Oh, my arm.
He could walk through walls,
Watching
disappear,
this clip
and fly.
comparing it to the most recent occurrence, Mabel's mom is convinced that this anonymous ghost was also her
Oh my
dad.
gosh.
If that's so, then Mabel's granddad has most likely been seeing her on numerous occasions.
I watch this guy to
Now,
have so many
it
life
could
stories
very well
I've
be that
witnessed.
Mabel has a vivid
Nothing scares me, I
imagination
guess,
and is
yeah.
therefore
Well, that's
seeing
fair.
who she thinks is her grandpa. After all, she's only
I don't know
2.
what it is. Ghost
But
stuff
when
just
she
freaks
says
me
that
out
it's
the
her
most.
mother's dad and that he's missing
Would you say you
her,
have life
well,
experience
things
with,
get very strange.
Missing you.
My daddy's missing me?
Paranormal stuff?
Now, not sure if she was just seeing things,
Oh.
Mabel's mom decides to show her an image of her granddad. Keep in mind, Mabel has never seen her
Poltergeist type
grandfather in
shit.
person, as he passed away before she was born.
I know,
But while showing her
hallways
this
are always the
picture,
creepiest,
she
though,
says
for real.
this.
Yes.
Yes? Yes,
It does make you wonder why kids can see stuff.
Daddy.
Oh no, dude. So wait, she's never
Hey,
seen.
Mabel, What does your ghost
her grandpa.
No.
What did you say he gave you?
Powers.
Heart?
Daddy. Daddy. Daddy.
Yeah.
It's the fact that Mabel doesn't hesitate. Almost as if she's known him for years, she immediately recognizes the face and says that it's her granddad.
The
the same
pineal
person
gland hasn't
who's
been
visiting
calcified
her.
yet.
Shocked
I mean,
and
maybe that's the
confused,
case.
Mabel's mom shares the video
Drinking a
online
bunch of tap
and gets
water,
many
who
comments
knows?
saying that her daughter is actually seeing him. While not sure how to
That
feel
would be
about
so
this,
insane.
she continues to talk about this occurrence with others in the hopes of understanding the situation.
Certain aspects
Just
of the
how
human
did Mabel
population, if
recognize
it
her
just
grandpa
wasn't
without
exposed
ever
to
meeting him or seeing any pictures of him before?
you know, modern
Like most
compounds,
videos, there has yet to
we'd
be
be
a
more
definitive
adept to
explanation
the
for this occurrence.
paranormal. I'm spookadid. I don't like the stories like that. They
If you
can
caught
be
something
creepy
creepy on
that's
camera,
pretending
or if
to be
there's
her
any ghost
grandpa.
videos you'd like me to check out and include in the
You never
next
know. The little kid
compilation,
might
you
be
can send them
motivated
over
to
scaryvideos444@gmail.com.
respond this way too, so it's hard
That
to
being
say.
said, let's get back to the video.
Number 1.
Now, the following video was posted by a mother who's
Bizarre
understandably
Bub should
quite
hire me
disturbed
just
by
to do
what
the
she caught on her
in-between
baby
number
monitor.
counts.
At around 1 p.m., Kristen placed her daughter inside her playpen while playing her favorite YouTube video.
Who up spooking in they Let's Read right now?
This is something Kristen often does
Who
whenever
up-
she needs
who
to
up
do some
reading
chores
they
around the
Let's?
house. In this case, she was doing laundry downstairs. But while being away, something happens in her bedroom that she can't explain. While rewatching this footage, she notices that her daughter immediately
I got the
turns to
same
look
sheets.
at the door before later blowing
My
kisses
bad.
as if she was seeing someone.
Oh,
Keep in mind, Kristen was still downstairs during this time. This is what she caught.
we can watch something funny. Now we gotta end on something spooky. Decides to pick it up. Goobity goo. What is that? A screwdriver? Baby bottle stem. Oh, okay, thank you for clarifying. It knows when I ask questions. Here you go, ghost. What's up, Earthy? My fridge is making dumb noises and isn't helping. It says it wants to watch. It wants you to drag it into the room with you, next to the screen. I wish Bizarre Bub put some jump scares on his videos. Oh my god, it'd be so bad. I mean, sometimes the music kind of hits a little bit. What the fuck? Did you just toss something at him? Baby bottle hits playpen. Oh, okay. God, it's always like some creepy music like that. How come little babies never want to listen to like Alice in
Kristen's
Chains?
daughter appears to see someone, despite no one else being home. If Kristen was downstairs, then who or what was her daughter seeing?
Blow you
But
kisses.
most importantly, just how exactly did a bottle stem fall inside her playpen?
Safest place is under a blanket
At first,
because it
she
relies
doesn't
on
notice
your
it,
awareness
but then
to grow.
She picks it up and chews on it
Ugh,
before seconds
yeah,
later,
that's the worst,
a baby
bro.
bottle hits the outside of her playpen.
I can definitely
Now feeling immensely unsettled, Kristen makes
understand
another
that.
video giving more context
the
on the
WAP
situation.
lullaby. Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay, so this is my daughter's playpen that she was in when the bottle thing happened. So she was standing right here.
Moms are always
The
out of
stem
breath
would
when they
have
make
fallen about
videos.
Here. And as you can see, like directly in front of that on the other side is the toy bin where the bottle had landed. It landed about here. There's
My first
nothing
live
around
stream. Watch, I love you guys so much. I
that
listen to
the
you every
bottles
night.
could
You
have
should
come from,
really start gaming,
especially
by the way.
like they landed straight down.
Yeah, do it from time to time.
So
maybe
really no explanation.
maybe we'll be able to
There's
find
the
some more
monitor
time.
that caught it.
Seeing this footage raises
Trying to
a
kill you tonight,
question.
I'm sorry.
Just how exactly did both
It's
objects
gonna
that
get
were
me
placed
too,
far
bro.
away get launched toward the
I'm gonna be
playpen?
pissing and shitting
Now,
in
it's
my
been a while
britches.
since this footage was posted, and Kristen has yet to figure this out.
You have
But
a
according to
porcelain
her
doll named
grandmother,
Cynthia.
this may have been
She
Kristen's
stays
mom
in my room
who
in
passed
the
away
shelf.
a few years
Just
ago.
saying. Oh god,
According
yeah.
to her, this might have
Keep
been
all that
her
stuff away
letting
from
Kristen
me.
know that her daughter was hungry. However, she's not
Taking
too sure
care of
about
kids
this
is a ton of
theory.
work. Nah, I
To
feel
this
ya.
day, this occurrence
I gotta
continues to
babysit from
baffle
time
her.
to time, and it's
Just who or
it's
what
fun,
had
but
her
it's
daughter
miserable
seen
at the
during
same
this
time.
footage?
All right. Bizarre Bub is in the books. What'd you guys think? What was the creepiest one? I personally think that first one was insane. I don't know. There was just like something about it that felt nutter butter. This will cleanse us. Honestly, if you ever go through a spooky haunted house, put on some noise canceling headphones that I know you have, and just put on some music like this, and you just like, it's like impossible to feel fear, because you were just in the mother effing zone. When you're going through the graveyard, like you could be a late night coroner, grave robber, and you wouldn't even feel an ounce of spookiness. Are your videos AI or real true stories? They're real, yeah. You can send them in if you want your own. Let's read submissions at gmail.com. But love you guys, appreciate you. I'm gonna jump off here, but I'll get these up and edited over on Patreon. It's only $1 a month over there for early access to all audio that goes up. Otherwise, it'll be up on YouTube, same time, same place, 9 p.m. EST. Be sure to follow, check out the podcast, Let's Read Podcast, the Saturn Soul channel, the True Crime channel. Check out Twist of History over on Ballin Studios. Otherwise, I'll be back streaming, I guess, Wednesday night. And be sure to follow my Instagram at letsread.official to know when I go live on YouPoop. But thanks for being here tonight, guys. Thanks for the support as always. We got some cool stuff coming up for bonus content here in a couple weeks. Should be sick. And yeah, I'm already feeling better. I'm like not stuffy by the end of this. Maybe I just need to talk it out, you know? But yeah. Love you guys. Appreciate you. Have a great night. And I'll see you later. Bye-bye.